It's Tuesday, December 2nd. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, no show. A warrant has been issued for the arrest of a man wanted in connection with a conspiracy to murder the son of an elderly couple after he didn't appear in court. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And Nova Scotia Brotherhood, the free program which supports primary care for Black men, is marking 10 years. A look at what they've accomplished and what's ahead in our 7 o'clock hour.
Plus, have you always thought about winning the Amazing Race Canada? Well, now's your chance to put that theory to the test. We'll tell you how and how to audition for the new season. All that and more coming up on the Tuesday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
Well, hello to you. 6:01 on this Tuesday, December 2nd. So glad you can join us. We've got Latavia Beezer, the lovely Amanda Deveson, and myself, Crystal Joy Garrett.
Latavia's making a face because I was just teasing her a few moments
Amanda's been bullying me all morning before we even got on air.
No, not at all, not at all. But listen, you do have your hands full today because we were just talking about all the weather warnings. And now there's a new set of weather warnings because it might be quiet this morning, but it sounds like we're going to have some really active weather.
Yeah, it will. For starters, dress in layers because it's really cold. We'll start with there.
Yes.
And then where do we go from there?
Well, speaking of the coldest temperatures, last night was the coldest temperatures we've had thus far.
Okay.
So that's carrying into early this morning as well. Here's a very dark start to Kitty Vitty. Early this morning, we aren't going to see much activity, but it's going to be a rather cold start to the day. Keep that in mind when you are heading out. And then we're going to start to see that wintry mix move through the region a little bit later on. As of right now, it is -9 heading outdoors in Fredericton, -7 degrees in both Charlottetown and in Halifax. -3 starting off your day in Sydney, -20 over in Labrador City, -10 in St. Anthony, and -1 into St. John's, Newfoundland. So we do have special weather statements that remain in effect for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. Also going to see a snowfall warning for parts of Nova Scotia, a rainfall warning for the Tri-County area, and then we are going to see some other warnings. I'll bring those up into the full weather forecast. As of right now, as you can see here, just a bit of a cloudy start to the day. We are going to see a bit of sunshine earlier this morning before increasing cloudiness and before that low pressure system brings in snow, rain, risk of freezing rain, and strong winds. As of right now, though, those winds remain quite light, 20 kilometers per hour this morning in North Cape, 26 into Canso, 13 in Sydney and Grand Etang, with 11 into Charlottetown. Only 1 wind gust to notify you of as of right now, 31 kilometers per hour in North Cape. So we'll have a look at the long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. A warrant has been issued for the arrest of a man wanted in connection with a conspiracy to murder the son of an elderly couple who were killed themselves in Dieppe in 2019. Nicholas Daniel Bain is one of 5 people charged in the case. The 4 others faced a judge at the Moncton Law Courts yesterday. They are charged with conspiracy to commit the murder of Silvio Saunier, the son of Bernard and Rose Marie Saunier. Silvio Saunier died in 2023, but police say foul play was not suspected in his death. The 4 accused who were in court will remain in custody and will return on January 5th. A Halifax area youth has been sentenced for fatally stabbing a high school student last year. The 16-year-old, who was 14 at the time of the attack, received the maximum sentence for a young offender: 4 years in custody and 3 years of conditional supervision. The overall sentence was reduced by a year for time served. Back in January, the youth pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in the death of 16-year-old Ahmed Al-Marak. He was fatally stabbed in the parkade of the Halifax Shopping Centre in April of 2024. The Royal Newfoundland Constabulary is investigating 2 suspicious deaths in St. John's. The police force says officers were called yesterday to a home on Aldershot Street. Inside, they found the bodies of a 38-year-old man and a 53-year-old man. The province's chief medical examiner has been asked to determine what caused their deaths. A campaign promise in New Brunswick for a large discount at the gas pumps didn't materialize Monday, and the Premier was not happy about it. Attending the announcement of a new addiction center on the Kingston Peninsula, Susan Holt expressed her frustration. The Energy and Utilities Board essentially reversed a piece of legislation that would have removed the cost of the carbon adjuster, saving drivers about 8 cents a liter.
It's been clear that the formula doesn't accurately cover costs that haven't been proven, and New Brunswickers deserve a break. And we were disappointed that the EUB didn't recognize that and just chose to apply a figure we've already told them is wrong to the moment at the time.
The board is currently reviewing its decision and will have a final answer on if the costs will change in February. The Premier says the province is considering next steps. The people who run MAG Canada are urging Prince Edward Islanders to stop being so polite. Turns out many Islanders hesitate to call 911 when they suspect an impaired driver, and the group wants to change that. PEI has some of the highest impaired driving rates in the country, nearly 3 times the national average. Victims include Jacob Simmons, who was killed by a drunk driver in 2020.
Jacob was our son. He was 27 years old when he was killed. But before that, he was a really good son, a great friend to a lot of people, very into fitness and so on, played a lot of sports. It was a huge part of our lives.
One of the things that we wanted to make sure is that the human cost is out there.
MAD says an average of 9 impaired driving charges are laid every hour in this country. That's about 215 a day. Some good news on the labor front from Moncton. City Council has ratified a new collective agreement for 200 outside workers. The CUPE members include truck drivers, laborers, mechanics, rec operations, and animal care staff, as well as rink attendants. The previous deal expired 11 months ago, and talks began in October of 2024. The agreement includes a 13.5% wage hike over 4 years, as well as increases to shift premiums, standby premiums, and the boot allowance. Licensed tradespeople will collect even more. Tourism operators and government officials in Nova Scotia are looking at ways to boost visits year-round.
It's the largest really resource sector in the province. It's larger than fisheries, farming and agriculture combined. Not to diminish those, but certainly its impact is far-reaching. $3.5 billion, I don't think any sector comes close to that.
The industry and government have just released a 5-year roadmap with the belief the year-round plan could push the value of the industry to $5 billion by 2030. A major part of that year-round tourism strategy is hiring more people. That tourism summit, where the plan was released, begins today. Finally, an Austrian family is carrying on their holiday tradition of turning their home into Europe's largest Christmas house for thousands of visitors. So the home, it's a home, lights up close to 1 million Christmas lights with some 250 inflatable figures set up over the 1.3-acre estate. So this tradition began decades ago. If you're wondering, it takes about 4 months to decorate and another 4 to take ornaments down again.
Wow.
Gorgeous, though.
It's
Look
shocking.
at it.
What a property.
Stunning.
Every centimeter of it is just covered in lights. That's, wow, I'd love to see that.
Yeah,
I know, to
Put
see in
it on the
person.
list.
You hear about so many beautiful Christmas villages, especially in Europe, those markets. What a dream to see something like that.
I know.
Yeah.
The fact that they open this up to the public.
So neat. Thank you,
Yeah.
Amanda. What a treat.
Yeah, you're welcome. A
Way to
feast for the
start
eyes.
show. Okay, Christmas Daddy's Elves were in downtown Amherst Saturday afternoon. Our very own Suzette Belliveau and Roxanne Robinson were spreading Christmas cheer and promoting Christmas Daddies as part of holiday festivities in Amherst ahead of the town's annual Christmas parade that happened that night. Santa was there, of course. Wow, look at him go. Buddy the Elf was on hand, and families got to enjoy shopping along Church Street. There was photo booth, vendors. It was a time. Now, everyone who donated Christmas Daddies this weekend in Amherst, our big thank you to them. And a reminder that you can tune into Christmas Daddies this coming Saturday, December 6th, 11 to 6 on CTV. We can't wait. We're all going to be there. And it's going to be a very special day, such an important cause. And it probably, the help is needed this year more than ever.
Yeah, now more than ever, too. And just the start of Christmas traditions for so many families around here as well.
Yes.
Can't wait for that. Okay, up next, the first look at your national and international news headlines on this Tuesday morning, and you won't want to miss Latavia's full forecast. Good morning to our viewers in Moncton. Look how beautiful Rotary Park looks outside the Avenir Center. They've got the ice and lights all set up. The weather, maybe not so beautiful. That forecast coming up.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday. The time now is 6:13. We're taking a live look at Yarmouth. It's dark early this morning and cold. Something to keep in mind when you are heading out. -5 degrees in your area. You will be seeing a bit of sunshine into Yarmouth before rain moves in as well. Weather is brought to you by the Atlantic Lottery mobile app. As you can see here, a very cold start to the day. Make sure to bundle up before heading out. As of right now, -9 as you head outdoors in Fredericton, with -7 in both Charlottetown and in Halifax, -4 degrees in Sydney, -21 over in Labrador City, and -2 degrees in St. John's, Newfoundland. We do still have special weather statements in effect for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. Into this afternoon until Wednesday, we are expecting snowfall, rain, and wind. So something to keep in mind when you are heading out, because into the afternoon, things will be changing. We do have a snowfall warning in effect for parts of northern Nova Scotia, for this afternoon until Wednesday, as well as into the Tri-County area. A rainfall warning is in effect. For Newfoundland, we are going to see a winter storm warning, as well as a snowfall warning and wind warning as well from today until tomorrow. So here's a look at our forecast as of right now. The calm before the storm. We are going to see a bit of sunshine early this morning as the sun begins to rise, and a bit of a cloudy start to the day for other parts of Atlantic Canada. We do have this low pressure system that will be bringing a wintry mix our way. So starting off into New Brunswick first, we are going to see periods of snow start to move in into this afternoon, as you can see there. And then as we head towards this evening, that's when this system will continue to spread east, but now taking over much of the maritime region. So we are going to see a wintry mix for much of Nova Scotia. Periods of rain expected, and into the northern region of Nova Scotia, we will be seeing that heavier snowfall expected across Prince Edward Island as well, and moving into parts of Newfoundland. So into early Wednesday morning, you can see here that pink, it's wet snow, a risk of freezing rain as well indicated, and this is going to continue into Wednesday's forecast. So if you're wondering about rainfall totals, going to pick up for much of along the coast of Nova Scotia, really. We're looking at around 10 to 20 millimeters, the heaviest being 20 to 30 millimeters expected, and then only seeing around 2 to 5 millimeters for parts of New Brunswick, and pretty light, as you can see here, for both Newfoundland and Labrador. Into our snowfall outlook, we will be seeing those totals increase, looking around 5 to 10 centimeters for much of the region. We could see around 10 to 15 for parts of northern Nova Scotia, as you can see there. And looking at around 1 to 10 centimeters of snow accumulation for Prince Edward Island, and seeing 1 to 5 in parts of Newfoundland. So here's a look at our forecast. Today for New Brunswick, we will be seeing a bit of sunshine for the central and southern region of the province before periods of snow move into the late afternoon. For the northern regions, going to see flurries throughout the day today. Prince Edward Island going to see highs between -2 to 1. And we are going to see flurries expected into the afternoon, starting off the day with a bit of sunshine as well, and then transitions over to evening snow. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, same thing applies. A bit of sunshine before increasing cloudiness, seeing a rain move into the late afternoon, carrying into the evening as well. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, a bit of sunshine before increasing cloudiness, and seeing snow mixed with rain expected for much of this part of the province. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, we are going to see a mix of sun and clouds starting off the day in Labrador City. Flurries moving into the afternoon with a high of -14. And for St. John's, Newfoundland, seeing mainly sunny skies today, but snow arrives into the evening. So for Wednesday's forecast, as you can see here in Wednesday afternoon, a lot of this system is starting to move out of the maritime region, still holding on to a bit of snow and flurries though, and then taking us into Wednesday night. Pretty clear for the maritime region, and then for parts of Newfoundland, still holding on to snow as well. Thursday's forecast, we have another low that's making its way over, bringing snow as well as rain back around. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. Not much of a break there between those two systems. To your national news now, Algoma Steel is laying off about 1,000 workers in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. The job losses impact about a third of the company's workforce, which is a major blow to a city with a population of about 72,000 people.
It's very devastating when you live in a community that doesn't have a lot of job opportunities and you're finding out that your job is going to end.
In a statement, Algoma Steel says it has been significantly impacted by the tariffs imposed by the U.S. As a result, the company is closing its blast furnace and coke making operations and transitioning to electric arc steel making a year earlier than planned. The layoffs will take effect in late March. Back in September, it was announced the company would receive $500 million in federal and provincial loan assistance to help deal with the impact of tariffs. One of the biggest retail chains in North America, Costco, is suing the Trump administration over tariffs. Costco is the latest company to launch legal action against Trump's signature economic policy. It's asking the U.S. Court of International Trade to consider declaring the tariffs unlawful and is seeking a full refund if the Supreme Court strikes down the tariffs. The top court is currently reviewing the case. Prime Minister Mark Carney has shuffled his cabinet to fill a vacancy, and Canadians will recognize a familiar face. CTV's Judy Trin has more.
Familiar but surprising return to cabinet.
Then I have Mark Miller.
Mark Miller, a close friend of former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, is back in the inner circle. Appointed by Mark Carney in a dual role as Minister for Canadian Identity and Culture and Minister of Official Languages. Before this shuffle, Miller had been on the backbenches since March.
I had the opportunity to be a minister for about 6 years and now another opportunity. So it feels great. I am a guy that likes to be busy. And so, I was a little restless.
Miller previously served as Immigration Minister and Minister of Indigenous Crown Relations. His experience could help Carney navigate anger over the pipeline agreement with Alberta. That MOU pushed the government's most ardent environmental defender, Stephen Guilbeault, to quit cabinet. Guilbeault remains part of caucus.
Because of the nature of the people that get elected to these posts and what we expect them to do, we expect them to have frank and honest conversations, notably with the Prime Minister, so not worried about caucus unity.
The Minister of Public Service and Procurement, Joël Lightbound, takes on the additional role of Quebec Lieutenant.
It's an important role in federal politics and in Quebec politics, and I look forward to getting to it with I'm sure with the advice of Stephen Guilbeault, who's been an outstanding Quebec Lieutenant.
Julie DeBrusen's responsibilities are also growing. She's now Minister of the Environment, Climate Change and Nature, responsible for national parks. All three ministers who were involved in this mini shuffle were first elected in 2015, when under Justin Trudeau they formed the government. Now, under Mark Carney, the cabinet size remains at 38 members.
CTV's Judy Trin reporting in Ottawa. A quick break here. When we return, we'll have your must-see moment from our colleagues at TSN, plus your business headlines. We'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
I am enjoying that whimsical twist on the this day in history.
Santa or a clown? I'm scared, but I can't believe 1905.
1905.
Yeah.
What a tradition. Gosh, still continuing to this day. All right, it's 6:24 and time to check in with our friends at TSN Sports Center for today's must-see moment.
Hello, everyone. Glenn Sheeler inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Monday, and it comes from the Monday Nighter between the Giants and the Patriots. You just don't see this every day. New York lining up for a 47-yard field goal, but their kicker, Younghoe Koo, jams his foot into the turf on the approach. Punter Jamie Gillen left holding the ball, gets tackled for a huge loss and a turnover. A bizarre scene as Koo stubs his foot well short of the ball, like a golfer taking a little bit too much dirt. Silver lining for the kicker, he never touched the ball. It doesn't count as a missed kick, but that just sums up the Giants in another forgetful season. Yeah, the quarterback saying his reaction says it all. That's your must-see moment tonight on TSN. The Raptors trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. They're back home taking on the Blazers. Pre-game coverage starts at 7 Eastern. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
This TSN must-see moment brought to you by J.R. Rahe's Furniture and Appliances.
All right, now time for your business headlines from our colleagues at BNN.
The announcement affects about 40% of the company's staff. Steel sales to the U.S. have plummeted since Washington put a 50% markup on Canadian steel. Algoma reported an almost $90 million expense related to tariffs in its third quarter. The company has been given an emergency loan of $500 million from the Ottawa and Ontario governments as it tries to find new markets for its product. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 71.44. West Texas Intermediate crude is up to 59.32. Western Canadian Select is down today to 45.81. And the TSX shed 281 points, ending the day at 31,101. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
All right, now we're going to take a look at our 3-day forecast for New Brunswick, seeing periods of snow today, a high of -3. Also going to see periods of rain for parts of the province. Then on Wednesday, looking at a high of -1. Isolated flurries start off the day, clearing into the late afternoon, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. And then on Thursday, 1 degree, seeing mixed precipitation yet again, cooling down, -15. For Nova Scotia, looking at a high of 2 degrees today, snow mixed with rain, and then into the evening transitions over to rain. And then on Wednesday, mixed precipitation expected again. We'll be seeing a mix of sun and cloud for parts of the province into the afternoon. And then on Thursday, 4 degrees is your daytime high. Showers expected throughout the day, transitions over to showers and/or flurries into the evening. On Prince Edward Island, a high of -1, looking at scattered flurries, evening snow. On Wednesday, mixed precipitation expected, and then on Thursday, 2 degrees, showers throughout the day, mixed precipitation into the evening.
Coming up in this half hour of the Move Morning Chat, today we're talking Christmas trees. What makes yours unique? We want to know. We're going to have that conversation just ahead on your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning. It is December 2nd, Tuesday, and it is the calm before the storm. If you've been watching Latavia's forecast, it makes me think like the afternoon and the evening commute can really be messy for the region. And I do wonder, since this is really the first significant snowfall event for parts of the region, if we'll see some early school closures. I wonder if that will happen. Kids will get excited about that.
Oh, yeah. It's not so much. The problem with this system is because we did have polar air move in from Quebec, it's really helping to cool things down, right?
Yeah.
And the problem with that is that rain can transition over to snow, even if it starts off as rain. So your travel could maybe start off quite wet and then become quite slick.
Which is the worst.
Yeah.
Very dangerous as well.
Exactly. We do have watches and warnings kind of thrown out there across the region, keep switching as well. So just something to keep in mind and monitor as well. So here's a live look at Halifax early this morning at the Armdale roundabout. -7 degrees early this morning, not factoring in the wind chill across the region as well. So make sure to dress warm and accordingly. We are going to see it rather cold into the mornings and nights across the region. So something to keep in mind when you are heading out. 9 degrees starting off your day in Fredericton with -7 rather in Charlottetown, -4 degrees in Sydney, -16 over in Happy Valley Goose Bay with -6 degrees in Gander, -2 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Still holding on to that special weather statement in effect for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. We are expecting some heavier snowfall, heavier rain, as well as strong winds. Same thing goes for our snowfall warning. We could get up to 25 centimeters this afternoon until Wednesday. And for the rainfall warning into the Tri-County area, could see up to 60 millimeters. We do have a winter storm warning in effect for parts of Newfoundland, a snowfall warning as well, with a wind warning. Something to keep in mind today as weather begins to change into the afternoon. You can see here, just a bit of cloud coverage starting off your day. It's quite clear. We will be seeing a bit of sunshine, but we do have messy weather moving in as early as this afternoon, starting off in parts of New Brunswick. And in terms of the wind, starting off quite light. As of right now, 22 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 20 in Canso, 13 kilometers per hour in Grand Etang, with 11 into Sydney and Edmundston. No wind gusts to report at this time. So I'll have a full breakdown of your weather coming up, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you so much, Latavia. A campaign promise in New Brunswick for a large discount at the gas pumps didn't materialize Monday, and the Premier wasn't happy about that. Attending the announcement of a new addiction center on the Kingston Peninsula, Susan Holt expressed her frustration. The Energy and Utilities Board essentially reversed a piece of legislation that would have removed the cost of the carbon adjuster, saving drivers about 8 cents a litre.
It's been clear that the formula doesn't accurately cover costs that haven't been proven, and New Brunswickers deserve a break. And we were disappointed that the EUB didn't recognize that and just chose to apply a figure we've already told them is wrong to the moment at the time.
The board is currently reviewing its decision and will have a final answer on if the cost will change in February. The Premier says the province is considering next steps. U.S.-made booze is proving to be a popular item at some Nova Scotia liquor stores.
Well, I left this morning to go to the liquor commission that I normally go to, and it was packed when I got there, and that was just a little after 10 o'clock. And the bourbon section, there had to be 10 or 15 people waiting for the bourbons to come out.
I do understand they were selling fast. I got the very last bottle of my favorite, McManus Petit Shiraz.
After being removed from shelves in protest at the start of the trade war, thousands of bottles returned Monday for a quick sell-off to help some local charities. The booze had already been purchased by the province and has been sitting in storage. As of right now, there are no plans to buy more. A warrant has been issued for the arrest of a man wanted in connection with a conspiracy to murder the son of an elderly couple who were killed themselves in Dieppe in 2019. Nicholas Daniel Bain is one of 5 people charged in the case. The 4 others faced a judge at the Moncton Law Courts yesterday. They're charged with conspiracy to commit the murder of Silvio Saunier, the son of Bernard and Rosemarie Saunier. Silvio Saunier died in 2023, but police say foul play was not suspected in his death. The 4 accused who were in court will remain in custody and will return on January 5th. A Halifax area youth has been sentenced for fatally stabbing a high school student last year. The 16-year-old, who was 14 at the time of the attack, received the maximum sentence for a young offender: 4 years in custody and 3 years of conditional supervision. The overall sentence was reduced by a year for time served. Back in January, the youth pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in the death of 16-year-old Ahmed Al-Marak. He was fatally stabbed in the parkade of the Halifax Shopping Centre in April of 2024. Despite more money in the system, a new survey offers a bleak assessment of how New Brunswickers feel about the state of healthcare in the province. The Abacus poll, commissioned by the Paramedic Association of New Brunswick, found 46% of respondents felt the quality of healthcare in New Brunswick had worsened over the past year. Still, the majority felt ambulance and paramedic service was good or excellent, and many would be happy to see them playing a greater role in the system.
The comfort in these potential changes and seeing paramedics serve in expanded roles in the healthcare system cuts right across the province, across regions and across other demographic groups, including voting groups.
They have the ability to be many things to many different people, and they do it daily. But I think it's a hugely underutilized service and system.
The Department of Health provided no comment on the survey. Finally, let's go out west now. Several people in Alberta captured images of an object lighting up the night. Witnesses spotted this fireball high in the sky. It was seen from areas across the province and lasted between about 10 to 20 seconds, heading from the northeast to the southwest. Some online sleuths have suggested it could be space debris on re-entry, but there so far hasn't been any confirmation. Wow. Again, this happening in Alberta. Always so impressed that people manage to capture something like this.
What? Who is
like you're ready
with their camera pointed at the sky?
Like ready to go. If it was 10 to 20 seconds, how quick you have to be.
Yeah, with no warning.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So
indeed.
Cool.
Yes. Well, researchers are trying to figure out what the fireball was.
Yeah.
And researchers in the UK are trying to study something new, studying solar storms. Now, we saw a lot of activity from solar storms, the Northern Lights.
The Northern Lights, yeah.
That's part of the solar storm. Well, this is the solar storm. They've sent monitors to space to get a better understanding of solar flares and when strong enough these types of storms actually impact flights, power grids, and communications here on Earth. The monitors go up to 3 kilometers in the sky on these weather balloons. Once they reach the upper atmosphere, they collect data on charged particles and radiation, and they use that information to kind of figure out what's going on.
Wow.
Pretty cool,
That's so cool, yeah.
So cool. Great minds.
Indeed.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear what they find out. Okay, still ahead, we'll have your entertainment headlines on this Tuesday morning, Giving Tuesday, by the way. Coming up next, it is the Move Morning Chat. And today we want to know what makes your Christmas tree unique. Maybe you've got a really cool one. Maybe it has a theme. We want to know about it. That conversation's coming up next after the forecast.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada, and welcome back. The time now is 6:42. We're taking a live look at Tangier. It is a cold start to the day, -7 degrees. We are seeing a bit of sunshine as the sun begins to rise early this morning before increasing cloudiness into the early afternoon, leaving snow mixed with rain expected to move in as well. And that's exactly what we're expecting for much of the region, but a very cold start to the day. Something to keep in mind when you are heading out, you will want to bundle up. As of right now, -9 degrees in Fredericton, as well as into Moncton, -7 degrees in both Charlottetown and Halifax, -4 starting off your day in Sydney, -21 over in Labrador City, and -2 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland. We do have a special weather statement that remains in effect across parts of all 3 maritime provinces. This afternoon until Wednesday, we are expecting a wintry mix. Snowfall at around 10 to 35 centimeters expected. Rainfall for parts of Nova Scotia, 30 to 50 millimeters, and wind across all 3 maritime provinces around 60 to 90 kilometers per hour. We do have a snowfall warning in effect for this afternoon until Wednesday for parts of Nova Scotia. Could see up to 25 centimeters of snow accumulation, as well as a rainfall warning for Yarmouth and Shelburne counties for this afternoon as well. Rainfall between 40 to 60 millimeters at its heaviest. A winter storm warning in effect for parts of Newfoundland. A snowfall warning in effect as well. Could see up to 30 centimeters, and wind gusts getting up to 100 kilometers per hour. Here's a look at our forecast timeline. We are starting off the day with lots of sunshine for parts of the region. We are going to see a bit of a cloudier start to the day for parts of the maritime region as well. And then into the afternoon, that's when we start to see periods of snow start to move in, starting off first for parts of New Brunswick, and then continues to spread right across the maritime region. By 4:30 p.m. This late evening, we are going to start to see a bit of mixed precipitation building for parts of Nova Scotia, and it's going to increase as we head towards later tonight. So something to keep in mind when you are heading out on your travels into the afternoon and evening. Into our rainfall outlook, starting off quite light, as you can see here, and then building by around early Wednesday morning. We're expecting around 10 to 20 millimeters for parts of Nova Scotia, the heaviest being 20 to 30 expected for the southwestern region, and for Newfoundland and Labrador, not seeing any accumulation. For our snowfall outlook, also starting off quite light, and as you can see here, by early Wednesday morning, we have picked up totals, seeing around 10 to 15 centimeters for parts of Nova Scotia, looking at around 1 to 15 for parts of New Brunswick, and 1 to 10 across Prince Edward Island. For Newfoundland, looking at around 1 to 5 centimeters of snowfall accumulation. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick. We will be starting off the day with a bit of sunshine and then seeing flurries and periods of snow, as well as some rain for the southern region of the province. And then into Prince Edward Island, looking at flurries starting off your day. We'll be seeing a bit of sunshine before those flurries move in, and then transitions over to evening snow. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, same thing applies. Looking at a mix of sun and clouds starting off your day, seeing a rain move in as well as a bit of snow into the evening. And for the rest of Nova Scotia, same thing. Starting off the day with a bit of sunshine, increasing cloudiness, and then seeing snow mixed with rain into the afternoon. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, going to see lots of sunshine across both these provinces today. And then we do have a chance of flurries into the evening for Labrador City, a high of -14, 1 degree into St. John's, seeing snow into the evening as well. So for forecast on Wednesday, as you can see here into Wednesday afternoon, still holding on to a bit of snow and a bit of shower activity for parts of Cape Breton Island. Newfoundland, Labrador still dealing with that heavier snow, heavier rain as well. And then into Wednesday night, pretty clear for all 3 maritime provinces. And then into Thursday, we do have another low making its way over into the afternoon, seeing a chance of flurries, periods of snow and rain moving back in. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to the Move Morning Chat.
It's a Move Morning Chat with our friends Aaron and Peter in Morning Radio. And today we're talking about Christmas trees, specifically what makes your Christmas tree unique. Maybe you've always had a pink tree growing up. Who knows? So we want to know what makes your tree stand out. You two, take it away.
Yeah, this was inspired actually by my mom, who set up a very unique tree this year. Now, my mom loves to collect china, and she decided to put up a tea tree this year. Now, this is cute. My mom has a little bed and breakfast in Kelowna, BC, and she put this up for her guests who just love it. She serves high tea, so it makes sense. But I love, she even has a little Nova Scotia tartan china teacup hanging up in her tree. But we just thought it was so unique and so cool. So we threw it out there to the Move family, and we got some photos from the Move family about their unique trees, and everyone's pretty creative.
Yeah, we got some good ones, some really good ones, including a Newfoundland tree, which has a sou'wester parked at the top of the tree. What else? Oh, we had a 1960s aluminum tree, a picture sent in. Those are so cool.
The upside down tree,
the upside
which
down
is always shocking to see, but somehow looks so cool. So everyone's getting pretty unique with their trees. We thought it was so cute.
Oh, that is so cool. Oh, Latavia, what have you done with your tree that's unique?
I think the most unique thing for me this year is the fact that I decorated my tree early, and then my twin boys undecorated the half of the bottom of the tree. So then I had to redecorate it again. That's what makes mine unique this year. What about yours?
Well, it's certainly not like that. I'll tell you about something I did as a prank on my husband once, just to see how long it would take for him to notice. There are many famous Chris actors out there in the world, but I printed out a photo of one particular Chris actor, and I put it on the tree and waited to see how long my husband would notice that I kind of named our tree Chris Pine.
I see what you did there. Okay.
Like, maybe it's not for everyone, but yeah, I put this photo up of Chris Pine on our pine tree and waited to see how long it would take for my husband to notice.
How long was it?
You know what? Probably just a couple days.
Okay. Yeah.
He got the joke.
He's pretty quick.
He is pretty quick. All right. So we're asking our viewers this morning, what makes your Christmas tree unique? Do you do something special? Please send us a text at 10400. We'd love to hear what you do. And bonus points if you have a photo. We'd love to share it. We'll have your answers later on in the show.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
All right, welcome back. The time now is 6:51. Crystal, should we head over to Hollywood?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go.
Bad Bunny isn't going to be the only big-name musical act at the Super Bowl next year. The NFL has announced its slate of pregame performers. Charlie Puth will sing the national anthem. Brandi Carlile will perform America the Beautiful. And Coco Jones will give her rendition of Lift Every Voice and Sing. Kickoff for Super Bowl 60 is February 8th. Some super-powered animals are hitting the big screen in 2028. Paramount now says it's adding a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie to the calendar for that November. It'll be followed by a Sonic the Hedgehog spin-off movie scheduled for that December.
Let's start the holidays!
I can't wait for the snow! It's almost time to return to Fraggle Rock. The iconic puppet series from the Jim Henson Company is back with a new holiday special this week. The first snow of Fraggle Rock hits Apple TV this Friday.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
And And happy birthday to Britney Spears, who is 44 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Melissa Dawn, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Well, here's some good news. A restaurant in Nova Scotia received a surprise payment recently by snail mail.
Yep. Turns out a customer from Alabama wanted to make good on an order error. CTV's Mike Lamb has a story about a generous gesture of kindness.
My name's Darcy Clark, and we used to be in concrete business, the wife and I, and then we started Bentley's Burgers and Fries after we retired, named after this fine-looking specimen right here. Say hi, Bentley. We specialize in smashed burgers, filthy fries, pizza, and we haven't looked back since. Bentley's Burgers and Fries, how can we help you? October 1st, the phone rang. We noticed it was an out-of-town number, but we get a lot of tourists, so we took the call. I took their order, 2 burgers, 2 fries. Time went on. We figured they must have got lost, flat tire, etc. And then we thought no more of it. Somebody came that night. We gave the food out free. And a month later, I went to the mail, and this here letter was in the mail. Well, inside the letter was a old school, old-fashioned, handwritten note. And it reads the following. I placed an order to 2 singles and 2 fries on October 1st. Was able to come get it because obviously we live in the USA. Feel bad about it, and we're going to enclose $40. Hopefully it pays for the meal. God bless. There's hope for humanity yet. You want some of that fancy ketchup? We put the letter online as a nice thing on our website saying, you know, people are kind and nice. And then we get all these comments and stuff, and it's gone viral. So for these fine people, what we're doing is we're putting a little thing together from the East Coast here. We're going to give them a Christmas card. We got some stickers from Bentley's Burgers we're going to give them, and our seasoning from Bentley's Burgers and Fries we're going to give them, along with a photocopy of all the nice comments from people about the letter. And everything's made with love here. We were overwhelmed with the letter. For people to do that today, they were raised with morals, that's for sure. And my father thought it would be a good thing to do by keeping the letter and the money so that when my wife and I are in our 70s, it'll be something nice to look back on. And again, there's still hope for humanity. That's how I felt about it. It was heartwarming. Thank you. Thank you for choosing Bentley's today.
Wow, what a sweet story. Happening now in local news, gas price cuts that were set to come into effect in New Brunswick have been canceled by the province's Energy and Utilities Board. We'll have reaction from New Brunswick Premier Susan Holt. Plus, tourism operators and government officials in Nova Scotia, they want to boost visitors to the region by opening up tourism year-round, including the winter months. Details just ahead. Plus, the Oxford University Press Word of the Year is out, and it's meant to reflect some of the moods that have defined the year that was 2025. We'll have that word coming up in your news headlines. But first, it is a look at the forecast, and it is a busy one today. Weather, a lot of people talking about it today, Latavia.
Thanks, Amanda. We're taking a look now for New Brunswick. We are going to see a bit of sunshine before increasing cloudiness and periods of snow and rain moving in with a high of -3. -1 on Wednesday. Still some isolated flurries lingering, then clearing into the afternoon, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. But another low moves in, a high of 1, bringing flurries and or showers back across the province. Nova Scotia looking at a high of 2 today, snow mixed with rain, and then transitions over to evening rain on Wednesday. Rain and or flurries clearing out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. And then on Thursday, a high of 4, showers into the evening, looking at mixed precipitation returning. Prince Edward Island dealing with scattered flurries today, evening snow. On Wednesday, snow mixed with rain with a high of 2. On Thursday, showers transitions over to mixed precipitation into the evening.
It's Tuesday, December 2nd. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, gas price cuts that were set to come into effect in New Brunswick have been canceled by the province's Energy and Utilities Board. We'll have details and reaction just ahead.
And Nova Scotia Brotherhood. The free program supports primary care for Black men, and it's marking 10 years. We look at what they've accomplished over the years and what's ahead this half hour on Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. Thank you so much for joining us. The time now is 7 o'clock, a whole hour done and 2 more hours to go. Hope their ankles are doing better than mine this morning.
Their ankles?
Want to know why?
Why?
Yesterday I was playing with the boys in their playpen, and I fell right out of it when I was trying to get out.
Oh, no.
And I was like, ah! I was like, what happened? I'm like, it fell out the playpen. My ankles just like hit the wood.
No.
I'm like,
Oh, ouch.
yeah. It would make a good video, though.
Well, maybe for like America's Funniest Home Videos, but not good to see again.
Oh my gosh. Well, I was thinking you want those ankles and strong ankles too, because based on the weather system that we're going to be getting like this afternoon and into tonight, and then what is it, a short break, and then we have another one coming on Thursday? Yeah. Buckle up.
Not as intense as this one that we're expecting early into the afternoon for parts of the region, but yes, another system wrapping right back around.
Okay, so we had the Santa Claus parade over the weekend. Now it's time for the weather parade.
And a parade is going
Oh my gosh.
Here's a look at Charlottetown early this morning. A cold start to the day. Keep that in mind, -7. That's not even factoring in the wind chill as well. So you will want to bundle up before heading out. Right across Atlantic Canada, a cold start to the day. And temperatures will warm up, but remaining below seasonal for the most part. As of right now, -9 in Fredericton, -7 in Halifax, -4 in Sydney, -2 into St. John's, Newfoundland. We do still have a special weather statement in effect for parts of all 3 maritime provinces, as we are expecting snowfall, rainfall, and strong winds, as well as a snowfall warning in effect for parts of Nova Scotia and a rainfall warning as well. And then for Newfoundland, looking at a winter storm warning, a snowfall warning, and a wind warning for parts of that province. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. So your morning commute will be quite smooth, although cold this morning. Other than that, we do have that low pressure system making its way into the afternoon, starting off in parts of New Brunswick, bringing a wintry mix our way, and will continue to spread across the region into Wednesday. So for our wind, for all 3 maritime provinces, starting off quite light, won't pick up until this evening. As of right now, 22 kilometers per hour in North Cape, with 20 into Canso, 13 in Grand Detang, with 11 in Sydney. No wind gusts to report at this time. We'll take another look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. A warrant has been issued for the arrest of a man wanted in connection with a conspiracy to murder the son of an elderly couple who were killed themselves in Dieppe in 2019. Nicholas Daniel Bain is one of 5 people charged in the case. The 4 others faced a judge at the Moncton Law Courts yesterday. They're charged with conspiracy to commit the murder of Silvio Saunier, the son of Bernard and Rose Marie Saunier. Silvio Saunier died in 2023, but police say foul play was not suspected in his death. The 4 accused who were in court will remain in custody and will return on January 5th. A Halifax area youth has been sentenced for fatally stabbing a high school student last year. The 16-year-old, who was 14 at the time of the attack, received the maximum sentence for a young offender, 4 years in custody and 3 years of conditional supervision. The overall sentence was reduced by a year for time served. Back in January, the youth pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in the death of 16-year-old Ahmed Al-Marak. He was fatally stabbed in the parkade of the Halifax Shopping Centre in April of 2024. Police in Newfoundland investigating 2 suspicious deaths in St. John's. The police force says officers were called yesterday to a home on Aldershot Street. Inside, they found the bodies of a 38-year-old man and a 53-year-old man. The province's chief medical examiner has been asked to determine what caused their deaths. A campaign promise in New Brunswick for a large discount at the gas pumps did not materialize on Monday, and the premier was not happy about it. Attending the announcement of a new addiction center on the Kingston Peninsula, Susan Holt expressed her frustration. The Energy and Utilities Board essentially reversed a piece of legislation that would have removed the cost of the carbon adjuster, saving drivers about 8 cents a litre.
It's been clear that the formula doesn't accurately cover costs that haven't been proven, and New Brunswickers deserve a break. And we were disappointed that the EUB didn't recognize that and just chose to apply a figure we've already told them is wrong to the moment at the time.
The board is currently reviewing its decision and will have a final answer on the costs. If the costs will change in February. The premier says the province is considering next steps. The people who run Mad Canada are urging Prince Edward Islanders to essentially stop being so polite. Turns out many Islanders hesitate to call 911 when they suspect an impaired driver, and the group wants that to change. PEI has some of the highest impaired driving rates in the country, nearly 3 times the national average. Victims include Jacob Simmons, killed by a drunk driver in 2020.
Jacob was our son. He was 27 years old when he was killed. But before that, he was a really good son, a great friend to a lot of people. Very into fitness and so on, played a lot of sports. It was a huge part of our lives.
One of the things that we wanted to make sure is that the human cost is out there.
MAD says an average of 9 impaired driving charges are laid every hour in Canada. That's about 215 a day. Tourism operators and government officials in Nova Scotia are looking at ways to boost visits year-round.
It's the largest really resource sector in the province. It's larger than fisheries, farming and agriculture combined. Not to diminish those, but certainly its impact is far-reaching. $3.5 billion, I don't think any sector comes close to that.
The industry and government have just released a 5-year plan with the belief the year-round roadmap could push the value of the industry to $5 billion by 2030. A major part of that year-round tourism strategy is to hire more people. And that tourism summit, where the plan was released, begins today in Halifax. Finally, the Oxford University Press Word of the Year is meant to reflect some of the moods that have defined the year. And for 2025, that word is rage bait, which saw a 3-fold increase in use over the last 12 months. So if you've been on social media, you have likely experienced it. And the concept is similar to clickbait, but Oxford defines rage bait as online content deliberately designed to elicit anger or outrage by being frustrating, provocative, or offensive. It's typically posted to increase traffic to websites or social media accounts to gain ad revenue. And it can refer to trolling behavior where someone posts something offensive just for fun. Rage bait.
Never heard the term rage bait. I get it. I completely understand, but
yeah.
I've never heard it before.
No.
Yeah, well, there you go. Oxford's saying that's their word of the year. One thing I love about December is we start to get those end of year, like a look back at the year that was. What was the word of the year, most popular songs. So looking forward to hearing what was the year of 2025.
Definitely. The year in a wrap is so much fun. Maybe this will be study of the year, all right? A small study, but pet cats. Turns out they greeted male owners with more vocalizations than they did female owners. Yes. The study published this month in the journal Ethology. Researchers reported that cats meow more frequently when greeting male caregivers. The team from a university in Turkey hypothesized that the men require more explicit vocalizations to notice and respond to the needs of their cat. So in other words, the researchers are suggesting that many cats have concluded that men don't always listen, so they have to meow more. Researchers say on average cats produced 4.3 meows in the 100-second greeting window with men and 1.8 with women. And so they counted all kinds of vocalizations, including trilling, chirping, growling, and purring. Like this. Or like this.
I guess women are more attentive, according to this study.
Exactly. Yeah, a lot could be inferred from that study.
I know. I wonder who wrote the study. Was it the cats?
That's true. Yeah.
Okay, still ahead, Latavia's going to have another look at the forecast. You'll want to stay tuned to find out if you're getting the snow or if you're getting the rain and when that's going to happen. Important stuff. Also, too, I'll have a look at your national news headlines. Good morning to our viewers in the hub city of Moncton. A beautiful sunrise, the calm before the snow. Details coming up.
Welcome back. The time now is 7:13. We're taking a live look at Port aux Basques, -3 degrees early this morning, and you can see beautiful sunshine expected. You're not going to see any activity until this evening when flurries move in. Weather brought to you by the Atlantic Lottery mobile app. It is a cold start to the day right across the board. Keep that in mind when you are heading out early this morning. -13 degrees starting off your day in Edmonton, -9 in Fredericton, as well as into Moncton. -7 starting off your day in Charlottetown with -5 degrees in Sydney. Early this morning in Halifax, -8, -21 in Labrador City, and -2 degrees over in St. John's, Newfoundland. We do have a special weather statement in effect for parts of all 3 maritime provinces for this afternoon until Wednesday. We're expecting snowfall at around 10 to 35 centimeters, rainfall for Nova Scotia, 30 to 50 millimeters, and wind warnings for parts of all 3 maritime provinces could get up to 90 kilometers per hour. A snowfall warning also in effect for this afternoon until Wednesday for parts of Nova Scotia. Could see up to 25 centimeters of snow accumulation. A rainfall warning also in effect for the Tri-County area. Could see 40 to 60 millimeters of rainfall. Over to Newfoundland, we do have a winter storm warning in effect. Could see up to 25 centimeters of snow accumulation, wind gusts of up to 100. Snowfall warning also in effect. This is for overnight tonight until Wednesday afternoon. Snowfall between up to 30 centimeters and wind 80 to 100 kilometers per hour, with that wind warning also getting up to 100 kilometers per hour. Here's a look at our forecast timeline. A bit of a cloudy start to the day for parts of the maritime region. Other than that, we are going to see some sunshine early in the morning before increasing cloudiness, and we do have this low pressure system bringing a wintry mix starting off into the maritime region into the afternoon, starting off with parts of New Brunswick, bringing periods of snow. And we will be seeing it spread right across much of the maritime region as around 4:30 p.m. So when you're heading home from your travel, just make sure to keep that in mind. Roads could become quite slick. We do have some freezing rain and shower activity moving in for parts of Nova Scotia by around 11:30 p.m. And then that takes us into early Wednesday morning, still seeing this system until we're heading out on our morning commutes. So if you're wondering about rainfall accumulation, going to start off quite light, seeing the heaviest of totals at around 10 to 20 millimeters across the Atlantic coast, and then 20 to 30 for the Tri-County area and into Grand Manan. For Newfoundland and Labrador, not seeing any rainfall accumulation. For our snowfall, starting off quite light as well. Could pick up to 15 centimeters of snowfall for parts of Nova Scotia, 10 to 15 for Woodstock, and around 1 to 10 for Prince Edward Island. Only seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters for parts of Newfoundland. So for our forecast today for New Brunswick, we will be seeing a bit of sunshine before periods of snow move into the afternoon, as well as flurries for the northern region. For Prince Edward Island, much of the same, starting off with a bit of sunshine. Flurries move into the afternoon as well. Transitions over to evening snow. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, seeing a bit of sunshine as well early in the morning, then increasing cloudiness, snow and rain moving in for this part of the province. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, same thing applies. We're looking at snow mixed with rain into the late afternoon, into the evening as well. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, seeing a bunch of sunshine today, but we do have flurries moving into Labrador City this afternoon with a high of -14. 1 degree into St. John's, Newfoundland. Lots of sunshine throughout your day. Snow will arrive into the evening. So for our Wednesday forecast into the afternoon, still holding on to a bit of flurry activity and a part of showers for parts of Cape Breton Island. Newfoundland getting the heaviest of that snow and rain. And then into the evening on Wednesday, we are going to see pretty clear skies for parts of the region, still holding on to a bit of flurry activity for Cape Breton and seeing mixed precipitation still for Newfoundland. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Prime Minister Mark Carney has appointed Montreal MP Mark Miller as Minister of Canadian Identity and Culture. Miller has also been tasked with handling the official languages file after Stephen Guilbeault resigned over an Ottawa-Alberta energy pact. In addition, Joel Lightbound becomes Quebec Lieutenant and Julie Debrusin takes over the nature portfolio, while the government shifts away from tech-focused cultural policy. New legislation on online harms is expected from both the AI and Justice ministers, with Miller also set to play a part in the file. With holiday shopping now underway, many Canadians are adjusting what they're planning to buy and how much they're planning to spend. CTV's Adrian Gobriel on what's impacting those decisions.
December has arrived, and with it, a flurry of Canadian consumers.
I'm sticking to a budget, trying to get really good deals, yeah.
A survey by the Bank of Montreal has found that 3 in 5 Canadians are adjusting their holiday spending amid tariff concerns, with 37% focusing on made-in-Canada gifts.
Being a bit patriotic about, how they want to spend their money over the holiday season to sort of give back into the Canadian economy.
The economic headwinds from inflation to debt levels are causing some to keep a tighter grip on their wallets.
What consumers are saying, the top of the list is to save money this holiday season. And so if you're going to be marketing online for Cyber Monday, I suspect you're going to be bringing out your best deals.
And cost-conscious Canadians are shifting purchase priorities. This survey by the Business Development Bank of Canada says the average household is spending just over $940 this year. More than half of that is expected to go towards Canadian products, contributing to $11 billion to Canada's GDP while supporting thousands of jobs.
Canadians are really being mindful of how they're going to spend their money over the holidays and where they want to put their money. And I think for a large chunk, it still is going to be around supporting, Canadian businesses.
Financial experts say taking the time to map out your shopping list as well as planning your purchases in advance are key to keeping a cap on your budget. Try and avoid those impulse buys and last-minute shopping. The calendar has now turned to December, and for those celebrating, the clock is officially ticking to get your gifts.
CTV's Adrian Gobriel reporting in Toronto. A quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, a conversation with the Nova Scotia Brotherhood. That's after this.
Welcome back. It is now 7:22. 2025 marks 10 years of the Nova Scotia Brotherhood. The initiative is a free program for Black men to access health care in the community to improve overall health and well-being. Joining us this morning is Preston Trench, the team lead for the Nova Scotia Brotherhood. Good morning, Preston. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
I guess you had a bit of a late night last night with the book club.
We did. It was very, very entertaining, to say the least.
So for people at home, the Nova Scotia Brotherhood has a book club for men where you discuss a book, and the men didn't want to leave last night.
Oh, they didn't want to leave. I guess one of the salient themes that we were talking about was emotional stability and what that looks like for men. So we were just having some conversation around that and what support looks like. So it's just some of those conversations that we oftentimes do not have. We try to have that in a safe space to unpack and tease out some of the themes, the salient themes. So, yeah.
Well, I know that the Nova Scotia Brotherhood was founded 10 years ago by Dr. Milne, and he couldn't be with us today, but I understand he founded it because at that time he recognized there was a real need in the Black community. Talk about why the program was founded.
So there's some health disparity, and the biggest thing is trust, and a lot of our men that trust piece is very important, right? And when you don't see people that reflects and look like you and understand your lived experience. And Dr. Ron is so empathetic. That's one of the things that we also don't talk about, is that empathy is not something that is a male characteristic. It's oftentimes given to a woman, a trait by a woman, right? So Dr. Ron shows up for our community in ways that oftentimes you don't expect from practitioners, because they tend to have a cookie-cutter approach to how they show up for folks in community. And Dr. Ron is always accessible. So that's one of the biggest things that I really appreciate about Dr. Ron, is his accessibility. I can call him and like, hey, Dr. Ron, I have this concern. Can you walk me through that process, right? So the intentional of how he shows up for our community.
Well, the work that Dr. Milne has done is extraordinary. I know that kind of traditionally in the Black community, men suffer from more chronic diseases.
Mm-hmm.
There are a number of health concerns, often because, and this is what I was reading, the information that Dr. Milne was sharing, is that the men put off going to the doctor because they're not comfortable with most doctors.
Yes, and one thing that Dr. Ron does that I really, sometimes I want to get folks in and out, but Dr. Ron wants to talk about them. So he talks about their family. So, hey, how is your family doing? So we're very relational. Our communities are very relational. So checking in to them, with them, asking them about their family, how they're doing, and then you can chip away at the nitty-gritty and get to the salient issues. So it's about having those uncomfortable conversations, but also building that safe space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we don't only have the short span of an interview. I know that the Nova Scotia Brotherhood offers a lot of programs. What are some of the ones that you'd like to highlight today?
So we have a barbershop talk coming up on December 18. So it's a safe space where men can come, have a conversation around mental health topics, get a free haircut, but also just tease out some issues that they don't normally feel comfortable talking in public. We have a running group, which is kind of off for the season because it's cold.
Yeah.
But it is like a very good time to meet and just talk about mental health and get in those uncomfortable conversations and just going for a run. I find running very therapeutic because it helps us compartmentalize, right, and process things. And and we have the book club, which we're reading the narrative of Frederick Douglass. That's a book, and our next meeting is going to be in January 6th. So yeah.
And people can see a physician or a mental health professional.
Yes.
And it's important that the care is given by Black men, to Black men. Well, Preston, thank you so much for coming in and sharing this with us today.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me.
We will put the information about the Nova Scotia Brotherhood on our website so people can find out more information if you're interested in finding out more. And now we'll turn our attention over to Latavia.
Thanks, Crystal. Taking a look at our 3-day forecast for New Brunswick, a high of -3 degrees today, looking at showers and snow. And then for Wednesday, a high of -1, isolated flurries clearing out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. Thursday, a high of 1 degree. We're looking at flurries and or showers yet again. For Tuesday in Nova Scotia, a high of 2 degrees. Snow mixed with rain expected, transitions over to rain into the evening. Then on Wednesday, looking at rain and or flurries with a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon. Thursday, showers, mixed precipitation into the evening. Prince Edward Island's looking at some scattered flurries, evening snow. And then on Wednesday, 2 degrees with snow mixed with rain across the island. On Thursday, showers, transitions back over to mixed precipitation.
Just ahead in this half hour, light up a life. We'll visit Hospice Halifax to get the details on an upcoming event to honor those we've lost, and we'll tell you how you can remember your loved ones. That conversation coming up in 15 minutes on CTV's Your Morning Atlantic.
Through the show, 7:31 on this Tuesday, December 2nd. And yeah, we're into December. It's hard. The countdown is on to the holidays. If you are a person who's into advent calendars, you know, you got to open it up yesterday. Do you have advent calendars in your homes?
I do.
I feel like you would.
I have 2.
What kind?
Well, I have one really cute one. I was actually thrifting with Amanda.
Oh, yes.
It's this wooden one with little ornaments that you put on the little tree there.
Cute.
That's for the kids. We haven't opened that yet because they don't understand.
Yeah.
But we have a National Lampoon one for ourselves.
Really?
Yeah.
Does it have jokes in it, or?
No, it pulls out little figurines.
Figurines?
Yeah.
That's, wow.
Amazing.
That is so much fun, yeah. And you?
Well, we don't have one in our home. Well, not for us, I guess. Our little guy, we got him a Minecraft Lego advent calendar.
Oh, that's
so
fun.
every day you can take out a different character or thing you build. So we started that yesterday.
That's so cool.
It was a lot of fun. He's not into chocolate, so this worked out.
Wow.
Even better.
I love that.
We're big Lego fans in the house.
Well, I love Advent. It's a good, I love the anticipation of Christmas. I think counting down to Christmas and the preparation for the holidays is more exciting to me than the holidays themselves.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm almost sad it's coming up and it's still like 23 days away.
You know what it is? Because after the holidays, it's just cold and it feels like forever until you get back to summer.
For sure. Now, your job this week, you're to have no time for holiday this and that because you're busy with weather.
Yes.
It's intense.
Yes. Starting off, it's the calm before the storm. It's cold, though, so keep that in mind when you are heading out. -9 degrees in Fredericton. You see a dark start to the day. We are expecting snow to move in this afternoon, and many areas going to see a wintry mix a little bit later as well. But it is cold, so bundle up before heading out. As of right now, -7 degrees in Charlottetown, -8 in Halifax, -5 into Yarmouth, -2 degrees in St. John's. Here's a look at the special weather statement that remains in effect until Wednesday for parts of all 3 maritime provinces, expecting snowfall, rainfall, and strong wind. And then we have a snowfall warning also in effect for parts of Nova Scotia and a rainfall warning as well. And then for Newfoundland, winter storm warning, snowfall warning, and a wind warning also in effect. So here's a look at our satellite and radar. Not really much to show you early this morning. We are seeing a bit of sunshine, a bit cloudier for parts of the maritime region, and then into the afternoon, starting off with parts of New Brunswick, we'll begin to see snow. For our wind, it's going to remain quite light starting off the day for the maritime region. We'll pick up into this evening, but as of right now, only 13 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 11 into Moncton, and we do not have any wind gusts to notify you of. We'll have a breakdown of your weather forecast coming up, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. A campaign promise in New Brunswick for a large discount at the gas pumps didn't happen Monday, and the Premier wasn't happy about that. Attending the announcement of a new addiction center on the Kingston Peninsula, Susan Holt expressed her frustration. The Energy and Utilities Board essentially reversed a piece of legislation that would have removed the cost of the carbon adjuster, saving drivers about 8 cents a litre.
It's been clear that the formula doesn't accurately cover costs that haven't been proven, and New Brunswickers deserve a break. And we were disappointed that the EUB didn't recognize that and just chose to apply a figure we've already told them is wrong to the moment at the time.
The board is currently reviewing its decision and will have a final answer on if the costs will change in February. The Premier says the province is considering next steps. Some good news on the labor front from Moncton. City Council has ratified a new collective agreement for 200 outside workers. The CUPE members include truck drivers, laborers, mechanics, rec operations, animal care staff, as well as rink attendants. The previous deal expired 11 months ago and talks began in October of 2024. The agreement includes a 13.5% wage hike over 4 years, as well as increases to shift premiums, standby premiums, and the boot allowance. Licensed tradespeople will collect even more. Despite more money in the system, a new survey offers a bleak assessment of how New Brunswickers are feeling about the state of healthcare in the province. The Abacus poll commissioned by the Paramedic Association of New Brunswick found 46% of respondents felt the quality of healthcare in New Brunswick had worsened over the past year. Still, the majority felt ambulance and paramedic service was good or excellent, and many would be happy to see them playing a greater role in the system.
The comfort in these potential changes and seeing paramedics serve in expanded roles in the healthcare system cuts right across the province, across regions and across other demographic groups, including voting groups.
They have the ability to be many things to many different people, and they do it daily. But I think it's a hugely underutilized service and system.
The Department of Health provided no comment on the survey. U.S.-made booze is proving to be a popular item at some Nova Scotia liquor stores.
Well, I left this morning to go to the liquor commission that I normally go to, and it was packed when I got there, and that was just a little after 10 o'clock. And the bourbon section, there had to be 10 or 15 people waiting for the bourbons to come out.
I do understand they were selling fast. I got the very last bottle of my favorite, McManus Petit Shiraz.
After being removed from shelves in protests at the start of the trade war, thousands of bottles returned Monday for a quick sell-off to help some local charities. The booze had already been purchased by the province and had been sitting in storage. As of right now, the province says there are no plans to buy more American liquor. Tourism operators and government officials in Nova Scotia are looking at ways to boost visits year-round.
It's the largest really resource sector in the province. It's larger than fisheries, farming and agriculture combined. Not to diminish those, but certainly its impact is far-reaching. With $3.5 billion, I don't think any sector comes close to that.
The industry and government have just released a 5-year plan with the belief the year-round tourism plan could push the value of the industry to $5 billion by 2030. A major part of that year-round tourism strategy would be hiring more people. And that tourism summit, where the roadmap was released, begins today. Finally, a special Christmas tree is getting a lot of attention in Brazil. Take a look. All right, so this is the wide shot. Can you see it? It's not lit up yet, but then, ta-da! It's a floating tree, and it was installed at a beach over the weekend. It marks the opening of the first edition of Christmas in Rio. The structure is 80 meters high and is illuminated by more than 2 million LEDs. More than 650,000 people are expected to visit the tree throughout the holiday season. With all the waterways we have around here, I'm almost a little bit surprised that we don't have something similar.
That is true.
I don't know about how big,
this is 80 meters high. This is something. You know what's fun about LED lights is you can make the different variations. Like it can totally change. Also,
that's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I mean, Sullivan's Pond over the weekend had the Dartmouth tree lighting. There were fireworks. It was just done on a much smaller scale.
Yeah, they had a big Sullivan, I was going to say Sullivan's Crossing.
Sullivan's Pond?
Sullivan's Pond. Thank you. The geese there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. The geese, they're gone. They're not
like
there.
Rallied up, right?
Yeah, they take them to Hope for Wildlife for the winter. They have a great setup there. We'll have to go show you, actually. Go visit and show you. Anyway, very similar to your story, but this is a little different. You've heard of Deck the Halls, right? Well, south of the border, they deck the chairs. and they really do deck them out. Take a look. In addition to Christmas trees, see, those are lifeguard chairs. In addition to Christmas trees at this beach in Jacksonville Beach in Florida, they have Christmas chairs. The annual tradition is decorating them up. And they, like, look at, that's just a lifeguard chair surrounded by stuff. You can't even tell they're chairs because they're so decorated. But it's part of a larger program in the area that includes a performance of the Nutcracker. They have charity events. They have all the proceeds benefiting children in the arts. But you can see they really do take the decor up to the next level.
I love that.
Jacksonville.
Right? I also love the fact that they're wearing T-shirts. I wish I was too.
Well, that's it. Very different weather.
Yeah.
Very different.
Very different weather compared to us, especially today.
Yes.
We've reached the halfway point of the show. We hope you'll stick around. Lots more to come this morning. Right after the break, Latavia's going to have her latest look at the forecast with that snow and the rain set for this afternoon and later in the evening. Also, too, honoring those we've lost. We'll get details on Hospice Halifax's Light Up a Life event. Those details just ahead. Please stay with us. It's 7:40 on your Tuesday morning.
Welcome back. The time now is 7:44. We're taking a live look at Lunenburg. -1 starting off your day. You will be seeing a bit of sunshine before increasing cloudiness and seeing rain mixed with snow move into the afternoon. That's exactly what we're expecting for much of the region. A cold start to the day as well as a wintry mix headed our way as early as this afternoon. As of right now, it is -9 degrees in Fredericton as well as St. John, New Brunswick. -7 starting off your day in Charlottetown. -8 degrees in Halifax. -5 in Sydney. -21 degrees in Labrador City with -15 in Happy Valley Goose Bay, -7 in Gander, and -2 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. We do still have a special weather statement in effect for parts of all 3 maritime provinces, expecting heavier snowfall, rainfall, and strong winds, as well as a snowfall warning in effect for parts of Nova Scotia for this afternoon until Wednesday. Could see up to 25 centimeters of snowfall accumulation. A rainfall warning for the Tri-County area for this afternoon until Wednesday as well. Could see up to 60 millimeters of precipitation. For Newfoundland, looking at a winter storm warning, a snowfall warning, as well as a wind warning. Wind gusts could get up to 100 kilometers per hour. So starting off this morning, it is cold, but other than that, we are going to see a bit of sunshine for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador, into parts of the Maritime region as well. A bit cloudier starting off the day for New Brunswick. And then into the afternoon, we will be seeing snow start to move in for New Brunswick first. And then slowly this system will make its way over across much of the Maritime region by around 4:30 p.m. and then start to transition for parts of Nova Scotia to a risk of freezing rain as well as rain. And that takes us into early Wednesday morning. So keep this in mind when you are heading out. Either in this morning, prepare for this afternoon or this evening's commute. It could get quite slick. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, starting off light into early Wednesday morning, we could see around 10 to 20 millimeters for parts of Nova Scotia, seeing 20 to 30 for parts of the Tri-County area, 10 to 20 for Grand Manan. Newfoundland and Labrador not seeing rainfall totals. For our snowfall outlook, starting off light as well, we'll pick up as we head towards early Wednesday morning. Could see 10 to 15 for parts of Nova Scotia, and then around 10 to 15 as well for Woodstock. For Newfoundland, also seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters of snowfall accumulation. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick. Starting off with a bit of sunshine, seeing snow arrive into the evening for the central and southern region of the province this afternoon. And for the northern region of the province, seeing flurries that will transition over to a bit of heavier snow into the evening. And then for Prince Edward Island, looking at flurries starting off the day, still seeing a bit of sunshine early in the morning and then transitions over to evening snow. Same thing goes for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia. We will be seeing a bit of sunshine before increasing cloudiness and then rain and snow moving into the evening. For the rest of Nova Scotia, mix of sun and cloud. We will be seeing increasing cloudiness as well. Snow that will transition over to rain as well into the late afternoon. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, a mix of sun and cloud starts off your day. We will be seeing flurries into the afternoon. A high of -14 in Labrador City. 1 degree into St. John's, Newfoundland. Seeing sunshine throughout your day. Snow into the evening. Wednesday's forecast into the afternoon, still holding on to a bit of snow activity, a bit of showers for parts of Cape Breton Island. Newfoundland and Labrador, that's where we're going to see the heaviest of that accumulation. So heavy snow and heavy rain expected for parts of Newfoundland. Starting to clear out as we head towards Wednesday night. But then into Thursday, into the afternoon, we do have another system wrapping back around, bringing showers and or flurries back our way, and then increasing as we head towards late afternoon on Thursday, Crystal.
Thanks, Latavia. It's 7:47 now, and it's time to tell you about a very special event being put on by Hospice Halifax to honor those who have left us. Here's more on Light Up a Life.
Hello, my name is Emily Mansour-Hemlow, and I'm the Director of Philanthropy here at Hospice Halifax. And I'm here to talk about Light Up a Life. Light Up a Life is our annual event that we hold here at Hospice that gives the opportunity to hold memory for folks we've lost over the years. So Hospice Halifax is a very special place. We have a 10-bed hospice that provides end-of-life care and then also grief and bereavement support for Nova Scotians. So we exist nestled away in the south end of Halifax, but we're here for all of Nova Scotia, for both end-of-life care, compassionate end-of-life care, and grief and bereavement support throughout the year. In order to get involved with Light Up a Life, all you have to do is go to our website at hospicehalifax.ca and choose Light Up a Life from our events and submit a photo, the dates of life, and the name of the person that you are missing. And so it's really key to say that this is an event for everyone. So the event starts at dusk, and we'll have Atlantic Digital Reproductions putting a beautiful display as part of the lights that come up, and Java Blend will be providing hot beverages. So we're very grateful for the partnerships and support that we have in the community that help make our work.
Brian was first diagnosed. It was a shocker because he had not been sick, and it was what they referred to then as stage 4, and they didn't think that there would be a whole lot of time, and he defied the odds because he was so mentally strong at that point, and we went through chemo, radiation, surgery, whatever, for 6 years. It took me a long, long time to come to grips with that, but I'm happy that in the end, it was as positive an experience, I guess one would call it, as could possibly be. I was very lucky. Our family was very lucky to find a place like hospice that just was everything for us, was everything.
I think he felt okay to go when he was here, gave him permission. And it was a safe place, and he was treated with so much respect. And when he walked in, saying, you don't feel like you're in a hospital, you feel like you're in someone's house. And he was welcomed like family.
I really love this event because it does give that space for those who are missing their people, missing their loved ones, to have that community to come to and to remember those they loved.
My dad loved Christmas, so we always had all these family traditions that we would do, and nothing crazy, but just like, we were a small family, so we had our things. So when he passed away, it sort of seemed like a new tradition to start. It kind of kicks off our holiday, and it makes him part of it.
He always said his children came first. And at first I resented that, thinking, wait a minute. But I understand where that came from, because for me now, I feel the same way. My children are everything. And without your children and your family, it's pretty hard to deal with stuff.
Light Up a Life, the first night is December 13th on a Saturday. The projection continues on going for a week after that, so from the 13th of December until the 21st of December. Grief doesn't really have a calendar, so we make sure that at Hospice Halifax we have a space for the community, for folks to come to hospice and remember those that they've lost.
We will still go through the holidays and know that he's still there.
It's a beautiful evening and a hard evening all at once, but everyone's there for the same purpose. And it's actually joyful in a way. I know that sounds crazy, but it's just a nice way to start the season with him on the screen.
Beautiful, and thank you to CTV's Paul DeWitt for putting that piece together for us. Health and medical... The Canadian Food Inspection Agency says the Your Fresh Market product was sold across Atlantic Canada as well as Ontario and Quebec. The agency is urging consumers not to consume, use, sell, or serve the broccoli as it can make you sick. No illnesses have been linked to the products, but the investigation is ongoing, which may lead to additional recalls. New recommendations for prescribing medications that can prevent HIV infection are in pursuit of Canada's goal to eliminate it as a public health threat by 2030. The Public Health Agency of Canada says there was a 35% increase in new cases from 2022 to 2023, with just over 2,400 diagnoses. Infections have heavily affected some Indigenous communities, with more cases in Saskatchewan and Manitoba than the national average. Finally, the holiday season is a time for giving gifts and thanks, but for many, it's also a time for giving back. Researchers who study human evolution and social psychology say that giving back is deeply rooted in human nature. Psychologist Sarah Schnittker says feeling grateful for what we have motivates us to do good things for others. Volunteers, in turn, say they feel closer ties to the communities they serve.
And we have no milestones to pass along for you today, but if you'd like to see previously aired milestones or find out how to submit one, visit our website by scanning the QR code on your screen. And a reminder, milestones must be received 2 weeks in advance.
Milestones, brought to you by the Berkeley Retirement Residences. Love this stage of life.
Recently, our Move Morning Chat question asked you to tell us where your wedding would be if it took place where you first met. Well, for a surprising number of couples, that place would be in the friendly skies.
Yeah, a recent study suggests that 1 in 50 airplane passengers does meet the love of their life on board an aircraft, if you can believe it. ABC's Sophie Flay has more.
What if you turned your holiday travel delay into a date? That's how one matchmaker suggests making the most of your trip to the airport.
The airport is hands down the best place to pick up singles because no one expects you to pick them up at the airport.
And that turned out to be the case for one woman from LA.
I was very late to the airport, which is not a dating strategy that I recommend, but it worked for me.
TSA is set to screen 18 million flyers across the nation over the holiday period. And Olana DiGirolamo credits the kindness of one TSA agent who helped her skip the line to get to the gate on time, which is where she met her husband 12 years ago.
We started talking and I said, "Oh my God, did you miss your flight too?" And he was like, "No, I'm on my third cup of coffee." And it was the absolute opposite of my experience, which I also think had something to do with how we connected because it was the least likely thing you could imagine.
She says they talked the entire plane ride. And when their wedding planning got interrupted by family health issues, they decided to tie the knot the way they met by saying, "I do," in the friendly skies. So instead of packing another nice outfit into your suitcase, matchmaking experts suggest wearing it to the airport instead and get there early, not just because of the long lines, but because of who you could meet.
People have a lot of time on their hands. They're eating, they're listening to podcasts, they're reading the newspaper, magazines, etc. Go sit beside the person that you want to talk to, make eye contact and small talk. No one expects to be picked up, and people are way more open to conversations at airports than outside of airports.
Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
All right, now we're going to take a look at the 3-day forecast. -3 today for New Brunswick with periods of snow moving into the afternoon. On Wednesday, looking at some isolated flurries that will clear into the afternoon, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. A high of 1 on Thursday. We are expecting a chance of flurries and/or showers. Nova Scotia will be seeing a bit of sunshine early in the morning, then snow mixed with rain into the late afternoon, a high of 2. Evening rain expected. And then for Wednesday, a high of 3 degrees. We are expecting rain and/or flurries, clearing out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon. And then on Thursday, a high of 4. Showers throughout the day, transitions over to a chance of showers and/or flurries. And then for Prince Edward Island, scattered flurries today with evening snow. On Wednesday, snow mixed with rain across the island. Then on Thursday, 2 degrees, showers, transitions over to mixed precipitation.
Tuesday, December 2nd. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, gas price cuts that were set to come into effect in New Brunswick have been canceled by the province's Energy and Utilities Board. Details in your news headlines.
Also, it's Giving Tuesday. We'll chat with the Nova Scotia SPCA about how donations made today can help animals in need. That's coming up in Pet Talk on Your Morning Atlantic.
Yes, good morning. It's not just Tuesday, it's Giving Tuesday. Giving Tuesday. Giving away. Giving away. A time to actually use your money to support others instead of, after all the wildness that was Black Friday and Cyber Monday.
Yes, I mean, if you're in a position to help and give back, what a great way to balance out the season by giving. And certainly helping animals in need is a great way to give if you can. Yeah. And I think we're going to meet an adoptable today. So two adoptables?
Really? Saw them come in.
It's Giving Tuesday.
It's Giving Tuesday.
Give 2 animals at home. Okay, that's coming up. Weather-wise, lots to talk about, Latavia.
Giving you work, that's what it's giving.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So today, very cold start to the day for much of the region. We saw the coldest temperatures of the season move in last night, carrying into early morning.
Wow.
So bundle up. Yeah. Here's a live look at Back Row Point. So it's cold this morning and a bit cloudy over there. We are expecting mixed precipitation to move in right across the region throughout the day today, starting at around this afternoon for parts of the Maritimes. Just be prepared for this because we are expecting snow, rain, and strong winds across the region today. -9 as you head outdoors in Fredericton, -7 starting off your day in Charlottetown, -8 in Halifax, -15 over in Happy Valley Goose Bay with -2 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. Over to our watches and warnings. We do have a special weather statement that remains in effect for parts of all 3 maritime provinces, as well as a snowfall warning and a rainfall warning for parts of Nova Scotia this afternoon until Wednesday. And for Newfoundland, looking at a winter storm warning, a snowfall warning, and a wind warning. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. We are seeing a bit of sunshine early this morning for parts of Atlantic Canada, a bit cloudier for parts of Nova Scotia and into New Brunswick. And then into the afternoon, that's when we are starting to see snow move in, earliest being in parts of New Brunswick. I'll have the breakdown coming up. In terms of the wind, starting off light for all 3 maritime provinces, won't pick up until this evening. As of right now, 13 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 11 in Moncton, and no wind gusts to report at this time. We'll have another look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. A warrant has been issued for the arrest of a man wanted in connection with a conspiracy to murder the son of an elderly couple who were killed themselves in Dieppe in 2019. Nicholas Daniel Bain is one of 5 people charged in the case. The 4 others faced a judge at the Moncton Law Courts yesterday. They're charged with conspiracy to commit the murder of Silvio Saunier, the son of Bernard and Rose Marie Saunier. Silvio Saunier died in 2023, but police say foul play was not suspected in his death. The 4 accused who were in court will remain in custody and will return on January 5th. A Halifax area youth has been sentenced for fatally stabbing a high school student last year. The 16-year-old, who was 14 at the time of the attack, received the maximum sentence for a young offender, 4 years in custody and 3 years of conditional supervision. The overall sentence was reduced by a year for time served. Back in January, the youth pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in the death of 16-year-old Ahmed Al-Marak. He was fatally stabbed in the parkade of the Halifax Shopping Centre in April of 2024. Police in Newfoundland are investigating 2 suspicious deaths in St. John's. The police force says officers were called yesterday to a home on Aldershot Street. Inside, they found the bodies of a 38-year-old man and a 53-year-old man. The province's chief medical examiner has been asked to determine what caused their deaths. A campaign promise in New Brunswick for a large discount at the gas pumps did not materialize Monday, and the premier was not happy about it. Attending the announcement of a new addiction center on the Kingston Peninsula, Susan Holt expressed her frustration. The Energy and Utilities Board essentially reversed a piece of legislation that would have removed the cost of the carbon adjuster, saving drivers about 8 cents a litre.
It's been clear that the formula doesn't accurately cover costs that haven't been proven, and New Brunswickers deserve a break. And we were disappointed that the EUB didn't recognize that and just chose to apply a figure we've already told them is wrong to the moment at the time.
The board is currently reviewing its decision and will have a final answer on if the costs will change in February. The Premier says the province is considering next steps. Some good news on the labor front from Moncton. City Council has ratified a new collective agreement for 200 outside workers. The QP members include truck drivers, laborers, mechanics, rec operations, animal care staff, and rink attendants. The previous deal expired 11 months ago, and talks began in October of 2024. The agreement includes a 13.5% wage hike over 4 years, as well as increases to shift premiums and standby premiums. Licensed tradespeople will collect even more. The people who run Mad Canada are urging Prince Edward Islanders to speak out. They say too many Islanders hesitate to call 911 when they suspect an impaired driver, and the group wants that to change. PEI has some of the highest impaired driving rates in the country, nearly 3 times the national average. Victims include Jacob Simmons, who was killed by a drunk driver in 2020.
Jacob was our son. He was 27 years old when he was killed. But before that, he was a really good son, a great friend to a lot of people. Very into fitness and so on, played a lot of sports. It was a huge part of our lives.
One of the things that we wanted to make sure is that the human cost is out there.
MAD says an average of 9 impaired driving charges are laid every hour in Canada. That's about 215 a day. Finally, several people in Alberta captured images of an object lighting up the night. Witnesses spotted this fireball high in the sky. It was seen from areas across the province and lasted between 10 to 20 seconds, heading from the northeast to the southwest. Some online sleuths have suggested it could be space debris on re-entry, but so far there's been no confirmation. What a sight to see in Alberta.
The sky, gorgeous.
The fact that we got the images of it too.
Yes, amazing. All right, a little science moment. Let's continue with the science theme, shall we? The Museum of Natural History has shared some interesting facts about how the woolly bear caterpillar survives the winter.
And it continues.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, there it is. The museum shared on socials that the Isabella tiger moth caterpillar, aka the woolly bear caterpillar, overwinters in its caterpillar form. This is how it does it, people. Most of the body freezes solid. First the heart, then the intestines, then the blood, then the rest. Because the cryoprotectant in its tissues allow the woolly bear to freeze the winter and then thaw in the spring.
Oh, wow.
The little guy freezes solid. Now, in folklore, it's believed that the brown band of the woolly bear's body is wide, the winter will be mild, and if it's narrow, the winter will be harsh. So what this is the one the museum shared. He's telling us it's going to start harsh, but then back off and end nice and easy.
Well, I mean, that sounds like the case, at least with the forecast, because we're still technically in the fall season, right? And
yes.
I wish I could hibernate.
Wouldn't that be neat? I don't know if I want to freeze solid and then thaw out again.
Maybe not that far, but...
You know, the fact that it like freezes first with the heart.
I just thought that was so interesting. So there we are.
Wow, that is really cool.
There you go.
Science.
Thanks to our friends at the Museum of Natural History in
Halifax. I also like the music that they added.
I know, right? I was thinking that. I'm like, wow.
If you're a social media person, follow them because it's very entertaining.
Okay, still ahead this half hour, we're going to touch base with the folks at the Nova Scotia SPCA about the importance, not only just year-round of giving, but especially today on Giving Tuesday. And also, too, you won't want to miss the forecast with Latavia. We have snow coming late this afternoon, but then it's going to be rain for others. She's going to let you know what to expect and at what time when we return.
Welcome back. The time now is 8:13. We're taking a live look at Lockport, starting off the day with a bit of sunshine. And it is cold, though, -6 degrees while you head out. Expecting rain to move into the afternoon. Weather is brought to you by the Atlantic Lottery mobile app. And we are seeing mixed precipitation headed our way. But as of right now, it is quite cold. So just keep that in mind when you are heading out. Bundle up. And you're going to want to keep in mind the forecast for today as well. So starting off today for New Brunswick, it is quite cold. Seeing the coldest temperatures, minus 13 degrees over in Edmundston, minus 12 in Bathurst, minus 9 starting off your day in Fredericton with minus 7 into Charlottetown and Halifax, minus 5 degrees over in Sydney, and minus 2 starting off your day in St. John's, Newfoundland. Over to the special weather statement that remains in effect for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. We are expecting snowfall at its heaviest around 35 centimeters. Rainfall for parts of Nova Scotia getting up to 50 millimeters of precipitation, and wind across all 3 maritime provinces could get up to 90 kilometers per hour. And then for our snowfall warning for parts of Nova Scotia, this is for this afternoon until Wednesday, the heaviest being 25 centimeters of snowfall accumulation. A rainfall warning for the Tri-County area could see 60 millimeters of precipitation. We do have a winter storm warning in effect as well for parts of Newfoundland, and seeing a snowfall warning getting up to around 30 centimeters of snowfall and 100 kilometers per hour for wind gusts. That's for overnight tonight. And a wind warning also in effect for Wednesday could see wind gusts of up to 100. Here's a look at our forecast timeline. So for the most part, we are seeing a bit of sunshine for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador, parts of Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island. For the most part, a cloudy start to the day for much of New Brunswick. And then we have this low pressure system. It is going to bring a wintry mix starting off into parts of New Brunswick into the afternoon. So keep that in mind when you are heading out, if you leave in the afternoon or into the evening, because we are going to see this low pressure system begin to move in, bringing snow for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. And then for Nova Scotia, it starts to become either a risk of freezing rain or seeing that rain also moving in. So road conditions could become quite slick even as you head out on Wednesday morning. In terms of the rainfall outlook, starts off quite light and then picks up at around 10 to 20 millimeters for parts of Nova Scotia, the heaviest being 20 to 30 for the Tri-County area, and also seeing around 10 to 20 millimeters for Grand Manan. For Newfoundland and Labrador, not seeing precipitation totals. And then for the snowfall outlook, also starting off quite light, picking up. We could see around 15 to 30 centimeters of snowfall for Kentville, and also seeing around 10 to 15 for Woodstock. Over to Newfoundland, around 1 to 5 centimeters of snowfall. For our forecast today for New Brunswick, we will be seeing a chance of flurries starting off the day, picking up into the afternoon for the northern region of the province, and then starting off into the central and southern region, a mix of sun and cloud transitions over to snow. And then for Prince Edward Island, seeing a bit of sunshine as well early in the morning. Flurries arrive and then transitions over to a bit heavier for snow into the evening. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, same thing. We're looking at a bit of sunshine before increasing cloudiness, transitions over to rain and snow. For the rest of Nova Scotia, we're seeing the same thing, a wintry mix into the afternoon, but starting off with a bit of sunshine. And then for Labrador, looking at a high of minus 15. Sun and clouds starts off the day, flurries arrive into the afternoon, and for St. John's, Newfoundland, seeing sunshine early in the day, transitions over to snow into the evening. So Wednesday afternoon, we are going to start to see the system move out, still holding on to snow and a bit of rain for parts of Cape Breton Island, eastern Nova Scotia, the heaviest being over in Newfoundland, and then into Wednesday night, still clearing out for parts of Newfoundland as well. Thursday, we do have another system that will move in. We are going to see flurries and showers move in into the afternoon, carrying into the evening hours. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Prime Minister Mark Carney has appointed Montreal MP Mark Miller as Minister of Canadian Identity and Culture. Miller has also been tasked with handling the official languages file after Stephen Guilbeault resigned over an Ottawa-Alberta Energy Pact. In addition, Joel Lightbound becomes Quebec Lieutenant, and Julie DeBrusin takes over the nature portfolio, while the government shifts away from tech-focused cultural policy. New legislation on online harms is expected from both the AI and Justice Ministers, with Miller also set to play a part in the file. Algoma Steel is laying off about 1,000 workers in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. The job losses impact about a third of the company's workforce, which is a major blow to a city with a population of about 72,000 people.
It's very devastating when you live in a community that doesn't have a lot of job opportunities and you're finding out that your job is going to end.
In a statement, Algoma Steel says it has been significantly impacted by the tariffs imposed by the U.S. As a result, the company is closing its blast furnace and coke making operations and transitioning to electric arc steel making a year earlier than planned. The layoffs will take effect in late March. Back in September, it was announced the company would receive $500 million in federal and provincial loan assistance to help deal with the impact of tariffs. There's growing backlash in Newfoundland and Labrador, where hundreds of court cases are being put on pause. CTV's Garrett Berry has more on what's behind the holdup.
Some of the busiest courtrooms in Newfoundland and Labrador had their doors shut today. All traffic and small claims cases being heard in St. John's are indefinitely postponed as part of a big change to operations at the provincial court level. Notice was sent Friday advising lawyers of changes in 5 courthouses across the province. Those changes include 2 traveling rural court schedules, which are being scrapped completely, forcing lawyers and criminal defendants to bigger centers further away.
The only public indications about when these cases might come back to life are notes here at the courthouse window in St. John's. They say that the postponements are in effect until at least December 31st.
The changes even caught the union representing sheriff's officers in the province off guard.
Not to be given a heads up, that's number one, unacceptable. Extremely concerning because, again, frontline sheriffs and other staff may have been able to do something to mitigate this.
Union President Jerry Earle said he believes that staffing shortages are to blame. His union has been working on recruitment and retention problems for months. He said the issues appear to be unique to Newfoundland and Labrador.
We lose sheriff's officers continuously to policing, to corrections, out of province. So we have to look at something that will keep sheriffs and recruit sheriffs in this profession because it's absolutely essential in the court system.
In a statement, the provincial justice minister, Helen Conway Ottenheimer, said she's meeting with the provincial court's chief judge again in January. She said those discussions will be about improving access and strengthening the justice system. Garrett Perry, CTV News, St. John's.
Thank you, Garrett. A quick break here on CTV's Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we'll focus on Giving Tuesday with the Nova Scotia SPCA. That conversation coming up. Please stay with us.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Welcome back. It's almost 8:24. Now, today's Giving Tuesday, and after Black Friday and Cyber Monday, today's a day to celebrate and encourage generosity. And one way to do that and give back is support the animals over at the Nova Scotia SPCA. So here to tell us more is Chief Communications and Marketing Officer Sarah Lyon. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning. Happy Giving Tuesday.
Happy Giving Tuesday. Now, for people at home, you might think, why is Crystal sitting a little strangely? Because I'm not alone. I'd like to introduce you to a very special girl who wanted to have a little snooze. Hello, this is Taz, a beautiful, beautiful cat who's looking for a home.
This is Taz, and she is 14 years old, so she's a senior kitty, and she's just looking for a cozy home to do exactly what she's doing now. She cuddled right up to you.
Yeah, look at her. She's cuddling right in. That's where she wants to be.
She was great in the car on the way here. She just wants somebody who's going to cuddle with her.
Yes. Now, I'm going to pull her out one more time. I'm just sorry, Taz. One more time, just so the people at home can see your pretty face. I am allergic to cats, and I did take an allergy tab because I love cats. But Taz here, look at the face. If you are at home right now and you're thinking, I could give a nice retirement to this beautiful animal who's 14 years old and could not be any sweeter, then how can people bring Taz into their lives?
You come on down to the Dartmouth SPCA in Burnside, the shelter, and you meet Taz, and you fill out a form, and she could be yours. And there's cats across the province, like Taz, who are looking for that loving home. And we have shelters from Yarmouth all the way to Cape Breton.
And if you're looking like advanced senior like this, there are special adoption fees, I understand.
Yes, so she does have a special adoption fee because a shelter isn't a home.
Right.
It's a nice, safe space where you can get healthy, get lots of love, but it's not a home. So if we can help her find a home sooner, special adoption fee.
Okay, well, she's sweet. And if you're like somebody who likes to sit in a chair and just kind of hang out, this is your cat. All right, how else can people support the SPCA today on this Giving Tuesday?
Well, again, we're coming with the ultimate BFF battle. Is it Team Cat? Is it Team Dog? I think you're leaning Team Cat.
I'm leaning Team Cat at the moment, yeah.
So we get asked it all the time, and so we've decided to put it to a vote for the 5th year. Now, cats have taken it 4 years in a row.
Whoa.
So we're really calling out Team Dog lovers and a fabulous anonymous donor is matching donations up to $100,000.
Okay, so for people who've never participated in this fun challenge before, how does it work? How do you raise money with it?
Yeah, so you go online and you make a donation and you put your donation, your vote towards Team Cat, Team Dog, or Team Both, because there's lots of pocket critters as well, and people who can't decide if they're Team Cat or Team Dog.
Yes.
And then we watch the pedometer rise to see who is the ultimate BFF.
That's so much fun. What a fun way to raise money. And it's all in, you know, good cheer. It's just friendly competition. How else can people support you?
Well, we're always looking for volunteers, and especially foster volunteers, because again, a shelter isn't a home. So if you can bring a pet in to your home and foster them, give them that love while they find their loving family, that would be great. You know, donations of linens and cleaning supplies. The amount of cleaning supplies and linens we go through, towels, is amazing. And so just volunteering as well, coming and helping out at the shelter, helping out at events, our thrift store. If you're allergic to cats and you want to volunteer, you can volunteer at the thrift store.
Amazing. These are images of some of the items made out of your special new tartan that we featured on our show. It's really been popular.
Overwhelmingly, yes. People are loving it, which is great. It warms our hearts that people are loving it, and we have tartan pieces that are going out across the country.
Can you still order the pieces, or have you at your max capacity?
We are nearing our max capacity. We've taken off some items off of the tartan site, so thank you so much to everybody who's bought tartan. We're now just down to like the smaller items, like cat collars, bows, scrunchies.
Okay, perfect. All right. Anything else you want to share with our viewers before we go?
I just would love for the Team Dogs to hear me. And really, I want Team Dog to win this year. So please head over to the Nova Scotia SPCA website this Giving Tuesday and make your vote, make your donation. And, you know, check in with any charity of your choice and ask them how you could help them this Giving Tuesday, because there are a lot of charities out there who are looking for your support.
Well, maybe I'm gonna have to go get like some allergy treatments or something, because I think this cat has chosen me. In any case, it's 8:20 and we put the Nova Scotia SPCA website on ours to make it easy for you to find. Let's take a little break and we'll be right back after this. We have to go, Taz.
I think she's staying.
Taz is like, I'm good. You just do whatever you need to do. Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Still ahead, the Amazing Race Canada. This is your chance to be on the popular Canadian reality show, because they're now accepting applications for the new season. We're going to find out how you can apply, what makes you stand out, and also the all-important deadline that's coming up.
Come on in. Temporarily, we've got a couple extra guests on the set right now. It's 8:31. We're joined now by Georgia from the Nova Scotia SPCA and Ziggy, everybody.
Ziggy, so cute. Hello.
Oh my gosh, he loves you. He loves you.
Hello.
Okay, so Georgia, tell us about Ziggy.
Ziggy is a year and a half, and he's looking for a home with older children and a quieter home, just because he can be a little shy at first, even though he's definitely not showing it right now. And we were looking for a home potentially without other dogs, just because he did have a little history where he wasn't learning the dog's other cues, social cues. So,
here, Ziggy, just
based on a meet and greet,
right here, just so we can get it. I want to get you on camera there. There we go.
What a cutie.
He's very, very sweet.
Not too big, which is great as well.
No, yeah.
Look at this face, people. What a cutie. And Ziggy is a professional model. I noticed him wearing the tartan in the video, so, you know.
Oh, yeah, he's a great model.
Yeah. He's looking at himself like, oh my
what
gosh.
A beautiful animal. And Ziggy's up for adoption, so if you're looking to bring an animal into your home, you know, fill out the adoption papers. Today's Giving Tuesday. Georgia, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. What you can't see is him looking at himself on the monitors that we have off to the side. Who's that handsome dog?
So adorable. All right, now we're going to talk about the weather that's headed our way. Here's a live look at Burnt Coat Head. We do have a bit of sunshine early in the morning, but it is a cold start to the day. Keep that in mind when you are heading out. You may want to bundle up. We are seeing cold temperatures right across the region early this morning, as we saw probably the coldest temperatures of the season move in on Monday night. As of right now, it is -9 in Fredericton, -7 starting off your day in Charlottetown and in Halifax, -5 in Sydney, -11 degrees in Cartwright, and -2 in St. John's. Still holding on to that special weather statement for parts of all 3 maritime provinces for this afternoon until Wednesday, as well as a snowfall warning and a rainfall warning for parts of Nova Scotia. For Newfoundland, seeing a winter storm warning, a snowfall warning, and a wind warning in effect. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. Not really much to show you early this morning. We are going to see a bit of sunshine before increasing cloudiness and seeing mixed precipitation head our way as early as this afternoon for parts of New Brunswick first. We are going to see wind pick up as well, but as of right now, remaining quite light. 20 kilometers per hour in North Cape with 11 into Moncton. Only one wind gust to notify you of at this time, 30 kilometers per hour in North Cape. We'll have one last look at your weather forecast coming up, but first, one last look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. A campaign promise in New Brunswick for a large discount at the gas pumps didn't happen on Monday, and the Premier wasn't happy about that. Attending the announcement of a new addiction center on the Kingston Peninsula, Susan Holt expressed her frustration the Energy and Utilities Board essentially reversed a piece of legislation that would have removed the cost of the carbon adjuster, saving drivers about 8 cents a litre.
It's been clear that the formula doesn't accurately cover costs that haven't been proven, and New Brunswickers deserve a break. And we were disappointed that the EUB didn't recognize that and just chose to apply a figure we've already told them is wrong to the moment at the time.
The board is currently reviewing its decision and will have a final answer on if the costs will change in February. The Premier says the province is considering next steps. U.S.-made booze is proving to be a popular item at some Nova Scotia liquor stores.
Well, I left this morning to go to the liquor commission that I normally go to, and it was packed when I got there, and that was just a little after 10 o'clock. And the bourbon section, there had to be 10 or 15 people waiting for the bourbons to come out.
I do understand they were selling fast. I got the very last bottle of my favorite, McManus Petit Shiraz.
After being removed from shelves in protests at the start of the trade war, thousands of bottles returned Monday for a quick sell-off to help some local charities. The booze had already been purchased by the province and had been sitting in storage. As of right now, the province says there are no plans to buy any more American liquor at the moment. A warrant has been issued for the arrest of a man wanted in connection with a conspiracy to murder the son of an elderly couple who were killed themselves in Dieppe in 2019. Nicholas Daniel Bain is one of 5 people charged in the case. The 4 others faced a judge at the Moncton Law Courts yesterday. They are charged with conspiracy to commit the murder of Silvio Saunier, the son of Bernard and Rose Marie Saunier. Silvio Saunier died in 2023, but police say foul play was not suspected in his death. The 4 accused who were in court will remain in custody and will return on January 5th. A Halifax area youth has been sentenced for fatally stabbing a high school student last year. The 16-year-old, who was 14 at the time of the attack, received the maximum sentence for a young offender, 4 years in custody and 3 years of conditional supervision. The overall sentence was reduced by a year for time served. Back in January, the youth pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in the death of 16-year-old Ahmed Al-Marak. He was fatally stabbed in the parkade of the Halifax Shopping Centre in April of 2024. Despite more money in the system, a new survey offers a bleak assessment of how New Brunswickers feel about the state of healthcare in the province. The Abacus poll, commissioned by the Paramedic Association of New Brunswick, found 46% of respondents felt the quality of healthcare in New Brunswick had worsened over the past year. Still, the majority felt ambulance and paramedic service was good or excellent, and many would be happy to see them playing a greater role in the system.
The comfort in these potential changes and seeing paramedics serve in expanded roles in the healthcare system cuts right across the province, across regions and across other demographic groups, including voting groups.
They have the ability to be many things to many different people, and they do it daily. But I think it's a hugely underutilized service and system. The
Department of Health provided no comment on the survey. Finally, an Austrian family is carrying on their holiday tradition of turning their home into Europe's largest Christmas house for thousands of visitors. A little carriage ride included. The home lights up close to 1 million Christmas lights with some 250 inflatable figures set up over the 1.3-acre estate. So this tradition began decades ago. It takes 4 months to decorate and another 4 to take ornaments down again. A labor of love, you could say.
Yeah, and the carriage rides and everything. Like, this is quite the setup.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Magical.
Wow.
Book a trip.
Indeed. Oh gosh, we could hit that, and then we could go to Stockholm and check out this gingerbread house.
Why not?
Yeah, it's spectacular. Look, well, we're talking about it here in Canada. It's at the Museum of Architecture and Design in Stockholm, and it's really just so many different gingerbread creations. Yeah, so there's Titanic, there's little houses, yeah,
La Boo Boo.
Some of these are done by members of the public. Like, it's kind of just like a community gathering, and I just thought it was so much fun. So we could go by and check out these that are a little bit more accessible, but definitely fun to go to Stockholm and check it out.
Oh, wow.
This is a work of art.
You could even enter one. Amanda, especially, you're both bakers. You could go to Stockholm and put your creations into
I could not decorate to save my life. I can bake, but can't decorate. She could do it.
I don't know. Gingerbread house is definitely not my specialty.
Yeah, I would have to say not, but I leave it to the professionals.
Leave it to the professionals. So go around Uptown St. John and look at the gingerbread houses that they have in all the storefront windows, like mentioned in the community calendar.
Yes,
Absolutely.
and we'll talk about what we have today in the community calendar. So a holiday earrings workshop will be held at the Dieppe Arts and Culture Center. This will be Thursday, December 4th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. So you can enjoy jewelry making, perfect for the holiday season. No experience needed, and the hardware will be provided. To learn more, head over to the website. And there will also be a community tree lighting in Cornwall on Friday, December 5th. Enjoy complimentary hot cocoa, cookies, local performances, and for the next 12 nights, a different tree will be showcased, decorated by local organizations. So the event takes place at the Cornwall Town Hall and will also be followed by fun, family-friendly candy cane bingo with holiday prizes. Sounds great.
Yeah.
And the Symphony of Nova Scotia, the Nutcracker, returns in Halifax. So the favorite holiday tradition kicks off Friday, December 5th and will run until the 14th. For tickets, head over to Symphony Nova Scotia's website. And if you do have an upcoming event, and we would love to share the details, so please send it over to us, yourmorningatlantic@ctv.ca.
Thanks, Latavia, for that. All right, we're going to have another break on this Tuesday. But coming up next, how to audition for the Amazing Race Canada. We know some of you have been thinking about it. Don't miss out on the opportunity. You miss all the shots you don't take. We'll chat with one of the show producers about how to apply coming up.
Welcome back. The time now is 8:44 on your Tuesday morning. We are taking a live look at Cape Sable Island. 1 degree early this morning, a very cloudy start to the day, as well as a windy one at that. Keep that in mind when you are heading out. We are going to see a very cold start to the day for much of Atlantic Canada. Temperatures will warm up just a bit, but for the most part, just be prepared for a cooler day ahead. -9 heading outdoors in Fredericton, a -7 starting off your day in Charlottetown and in Halifax. Early this morning, -5 in Sydney and -2 degrees over in St. John's, Newfoundland. Still holding on to that special weather statement in effect for parts of all 3 maritime provinces for this afternoon until Wednesday. We are expecting snowfall at around 10 to 35 centimeters, rainfall for Nova Scotia at around 30 to 50 millimeters of precipitation, and a wind warning in effect for gusts between 60 to 90 kilometers per hour. Also have a snowfall warning in effect for parts of Nova Scotia for this afternoon as well. We could see up to 25 centimeters of snow accumulation. A rainfall warning for the Tri-County area could see around 40 to 60 millimeters of precipitation. And then we have a winter storm warning, a snowfall warning, and a wind warning in effect for parts of Newfoundland. Over to our forecast timeline. So seeing a bit of a cloudier start to the day for parts of New Brunswick as well as into Prince Edward Island. But we are also seeing sunshine across parts of Atlantic Canada. And then we have this low pressure system bringing a wintry mix our way. It's moving in as early as this afternoon, starting off with snow in parts of New Brunswick, and then continues to spread across much of the Maritime region, bringing snow for Prince Edward Island and Nova Scotia. And then for Nova Scotia, we'll start to see it transition either to a risk of freezing rain and rain that will take us into tonight. We are going to see that system also move into parts of Newfoundland and Labrador, bringing some heavier snow and rainfall your way as well. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, starting off light will pick up. We will be seeing around 10 to 20 millimeters for parts of Nova Scotia, the heaviest being into the Tri-County area at around 20 to 30, and seeing around 10 to 20 for Grand Manan. Over to Newfoundland and Labrador, not seeing any precipitation accumulation there. And then for our snowfall outlook, we are going to see it start light again and then pick up. Looking at the heaviest around 15 to 30 centimeters for Kentville, and looking at around 1 to 15 for New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island rather, and then 1 to 5 centimeters of snowfall for parts of Newfoundland. Here's a look at our forecast today for New Brunswick, starting off with a bit of sunshine and then seeing snow move in into the afternoon. For Prince Edward Island, looking at also a bit of sunshine early in the morning, increasing cloudiness, flurries that transition over to evening snow. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, same thing applies, a bit of sunshine early in the morning before increasing cloudiness, seeing rain into the late afternoon and evening. And for the rest of Nova Scotia, starting off with a mix of sun and cloud, increasing cloudiness, snow mixed with rain moves in late this afternoon. For Newfoundland and Labrador, seeing sunshine today, but also flurries into the afternoon for Labrador City with a high of -15. 1 degree into St. John's, Newfoundland, sunshine throughout your day, snow arriving into the evening. So for forecast timeline for Wednesday into the afternoon, we start to see this low pressure system clear out for parts of the Maritime region, still holding on to parts of Cape Breton Island, eastern Nova Scotia, the heaviest now being over into Newfoundland with mixed precipitation. It clears out into Wednesday evening, still holding on to a bit of snow activity for parts of Newfoundland. And then into Thursday, we have another low pressure system making its way over into the afternoon, bringing a chance of showers and or flurries for much of the Maritimes, extending chance of flurries for parts of Labrador. That's a look at your weather forecast. Crystal?
Thank you very much, Latavia. It's 8:48. Now, have you ever wondered how you do as a contestant on The Amazing Race Canada? Or maybe you've debated over the dinner table about who your ideal partner would be. Well, why not apply and make those competitive dreams a reality? Casting for season 12 of the hit series is currently open, and you still have nearly 2 weeks to apply. Jesse Story is a senior producer with Inside Productions and casting producer for CTV's The Amazing Race Canada, and he joins us this morning. Hey, Jesse.
Hi, Crystal. Thank you so much for having me this morning. How are you?
So great and such a pleasure. And I'm going to, on behalf of our viewers, utilize this opportunity to grill you to figure out how they can get an application that catches your eye, because you must be inundated with applications.
Yeah, I've worked on every season of Amazing Race Canada, so this is my 12th season, so I've seen thousands and thousands and thousands of applications. But, you know, some of the tips I give is the first 30 seconds of your video is the most important. When our team watches videos, you know, that first 30 seconds, if you can bring energy and really grab our attention is huge. And then the biggest thing is your partner choice, you know? Who are you going to choose to run this race with? The Amazing Race Canada is really a show about relationships. So that's the biggest choice you're going to make, and probably the one that's going to help win you or lose you the race.
Interesting. Now, are there particular kinds of relationships that you are looking for? For example, are you looking for more, I don't know, brother-sister teams or cousin teams, or, you know, people who work together? Like, is there a particular kind of dynamic you're sort of hoping people throw into the ring for you?
You know, sibling teams are always incredible. They have that kind of relationship where they can, you know, get in a fight 1 minute and then 10 minutes later they make up. They don't take things hard. So it doesn't really matter the relationship. It's more about how well you know that person and how well that person is going to support you through the highs and the lows of the race. So, you know, if it's your sister, if it's your brother, if it's your dad, if it's your coworker, just make sure that you have a great relationship, because the race is going to test you, and you want to have that person to rely on through the whole thing.
Yeah, it looks super challenging. From the perspective of the people who are racing, that's what we get to see. But we never get to see the back end of it, the producing side. This must be quite a challenge to pull this off every season.
Yeah, it is. You know, again, like I said, I've worked on every season. I feel so lucky and honored to be able to do it, but it is quite, there's a show behind the show.
For sure.
Definitely. But again, we have such an incredible team. A lot of our senior team has been on every single season. So it feels it feels easy to us at times, but I think that's because we're having fun. And I think you see that through the racers as well. We really want to make sure they're having fun through the whole process.
There is a joie de vivre that comes through, and I think that's what attracts people to wanting to apply, because they want to be part of this. So season 12 is going to air next summer. That really isn't a lot of turnaround. When does the production actually begin for the next season?
Yeah, so we usually shoot in the spring. So spring 2026 is when we film, and it's usually about a month of time, maybe a little bit less. But yeah, we kick it off in the spring, and the show airs in the summer, Canada's favorite summertime adventure. And it is an adventure, you know, it's not likely these days you get adventures where you get to just throw your phone to the side and really just spend time with someone you love running around this beautiful country.
For sure. Okay, if people are missing the excitement of the race right now, I understand they could get a bit of a fix on Crave.
Crave has all the seasons. You can watch every single season of Amazing Race Canada on Crave now, which is incredible. You can go all the way back to season 1 and watch every season, you know, and watch the teams and see, oh, who are we like? Who can we relate to? So there's a lot of studying to do now for the racers. They can watch every single season and do their homework.
All right, well, Jesse, we really appreciate your time this morning. Good luck with season 12.
Thank you, Crystal. Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Our pleasure. All right, we're going to take a little break. It's 8:52. We'll be back to wrap up the show right after this.
Welcome back. Oh my gosh, if you didn't bundle up this morning, you certainly will want to before you head out. And also look at the timing of maybe doing any errands you have to do today because of that weather system, Latavia. Like, the morning's your time to go and get it done.
Absolutely. Like, even in walking my dog this morning, I felt like I was going to blow away, and then factor in how cold it was. I was like, it's taking my soul. Just bundle up when you are heading out. Temperatures will rise a bit into the afternoon, but we do have a messy mix headed our way. Keep that in mind. Rain mixed with snow. We are going to see that precipitation for the most part for Nova Scotia into the evening hours. So that transition could make your travel more slick. So keep that in mind as well. Even early Wednesday, we're still seeing this mixed precipitation. Okay.
Wow. So yeah, if you are commuting later in the afternoon, evening, we hope you have a safe drive while you're out there.
Yes.
Okay, so in our Move Morning Chat, today we're talking about really unique Christmas trees and what stands out to you. For Erin, she had mentioned that her mom has like a teacup tree.
I loved that
one. Which is really cool. So we put it to our viewers. And we have Leanie from Halifax who says, I have a standard Christmas tree dress with vintage ornaments and cardinals, but my good friend and her husband, they have a rotating tree.
What?
Decorated with all Hallmark ornaments.
Whoa. Oh my gosh, that's neat.
How did they do that? I want to know if they like MacGyvered, like built something themselves.
Right? That's cool.
Or if you buy that online. Mo from Bathurst, one of our regular viewers, says, unique for us this year, 4-foot tree instead of a 7.5-foot tree. Also no star, and we have the photo to prove it. This is the one from
it's cute.
Mo. Just that little one.
That's adorable. Is that a little elf?
On the top?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or a little elf or a little Santa. It's not.
It's
not an angel and not a star.
I like the stag photo, like that artwork behind. This is just lovely.
And then finally, Melanie from Moncton. Oh. This is her girl Dixie, and she's got this beautiful gingerbread bandana. That matches the gingerbread Christmas tree.
Wow.
That is cute.
That she has in her house.
That's a beautiful tree. Thank you so much for those. Oh my goodness. All right, that's our show. Have a great day. Stay safe in the storm, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.
Bye.